starting. Let's wait for our good friends at YouTube to let us know what's going on.
That's right.
All right, it's receiving content. All right, I believe the levels are good. The levels are good, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 122. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, and we've got Gamescom recap, Control early impressions, Xbox Game Studios exclusives, whether they stay exclusive, and Sony acquiring Insomniac to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who I first met at PAX East and whose content I came across through fellow stream team lead, LordCognito. Not only is this Lord a rare beacon of positivity in our gaming community, he's also the epitome of philanthropy and education, with his outstanding charity streams and sound advice for streamers everywhere. Introducing the creating host of the Danotage Twitch channel, official strategy guide author, and public relations for the Gaming Community Expo. Owner of the best mustache in the game, and always reminds us to stay positive, play more games, and read more comics. Live from San Diego and making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Danotage. How you doing, sir?
Yo, that's an intro. That is an introduction.
Let's get it. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great now. Damn. Talk about an uplifting amount of words coming out of somebody. That's great. That's I haven't heard that before in my entire life.
Much appreciated, sir. You are
What's
Lord.
funny is
I'm doing great, man.
Good at it. Good. You say something?
I was like, we always hear, the intros from the guests, but we ain't never got those intros, have we, King?
You get one every day. You get one every podcast.
We get that like 2 sentences over thing, man. Man, this dude writes a book on people.
Look at this damn.
You can't do that for us.
We need to unionize. That's it.
He said, "Oh wow, the IOP, the rest of the Lord's gonna unionize against the intros I'm doing for the guests." Oh man, dude.
What do we want? Introductions. What do we want it? No, right now, David.
Go put one of those inflatable rats right outside of your house.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yo, yes, I can't with y'all. Yo,
Well, and since you're a Nintendo Switch dude, it's got to be a rat attack.
Oh,
I gotta make sure it's one of them.
You savage, man. Huge fan of your content. It's only right we show you the proper respect in the realm. I know you've been playing a lot of Minecraft. Anything else you've been playing, sir?
I still play Destiny on my off time. I haven't been getting too hardcore into it. We got WoW's coming up.
Nice.
I'm only playing that because my friends are playing it, so it's like peer pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things, man.
Us here at the Iron Lords podcast do not condemn peer pressure.
That's like the only reason. I'll be playing. I'm playing Control tonight.
Ooh, Solve is gonna like you. He's got that early edition.
Control, it's dope, dude. We got to play it at Guardian Con.
Make it obvious there, Cognito.
So you got to play. That's right. It was at Guardian Con. That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
it was at Guardian Con. My boy Nelstar running that whole program there.
Nice.
Other than that, no, I'm just like, just dipping into a little bit of everything. I've been playing so much Minecraft because the community wants it so badly that it's just been taking up all my time.
Is something new with Minecraft? Because I be seeing like a surge going through that game.
I would say 3 hours of the Nether.
Magic thing. Yeah. I mean, it's magic. Like they knew exactly what they were doing. They brought out one of the biggest updates they had in a long time during like the most dead of video game seasons, like right before everything was ramping up. So people were like, "Oh, we better look out for games."
Right.
Nothing's coming out. Okay, here's the new Minecraft version 1.14, and it's like, well, everybody jumps on it. And then since a couple things jumped on with some bigger streamers and bigger YouTubers playing it again. A lot of people returning to it. It just like blew up, man.
Yeah.
I have forbidden myself to play Minecraft.
Too addicted.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where you do a project and he's like, you know what? This looks amazing. Took me 4 weeks to do, but you know what looked crazier? One identical to it right beside it.
Oh my god. Anyway, man, lots to talk about. Lord Dano's in the building, but we got some show to go on. And of course, we have beloved ILP family in the realm. fellow Division 2 lover, wielder of the ILP banhammer, and protector of guinea pigs everywhere.
Who's he talking about right now?
Introducing the I Love Podcast Stream Team lead, ILP First Look creator, and host of the Snaldo Twitch channel, Lord Rojo himself. Live from Strong Island. Lord Petey, how you doing, sir?
I am doing great. I'm so much better than I was last week. I was just like King. I was in the bushes. I was like, medicines every day. I was like, I must feel better. Oh,
no,
man.
listen, when because we text each other back and forth for that, and he said, it must have been when we were, grouping up with all the people downtown.
At Play NYC?
Right, and I thought about it. I was like, I have to punch holes in that theory because it was 3 other people that was there that didn't get sick. So
True.
That. Obviously, it was just me and him.
You know what it was? Y'all was playing that backstretch game, and
you don't know what it was.
that backstretch game.
We blaming illness on a game now?
Listen, man, I told y'all to stay away from that game.
Don't try to shame the back scratch game. What it was me and Petey was sitting directly next to each other, and we was rubbing shoulders.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
this is going left.
We was practicing sickness to each other, so that's how we transmuted that.
Oh God, I think we need to move on.
Oh my God,
mature podcast.
Oh. This is not IOP After Dark. Lord Petey, what have you been?
If it was IOP After Dark, King and me would host that one.
Oh yes, clearly you are the host.
Show you the picture of me and Petey. You look like we was doing an ad for a commercial. It was so funny, man.
Kind of like the commercial that we hosted.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Lord Petey, what have you been playing, sir?
Oh man, today was actually an interesting week. I actually played a bunch of different games. I ended up playing Division 2, obviously obviously every day. No Man's Sky. I did a little bit of Shortest Trip to the Earth, which was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, and Remnant of the Ashes. I got a little bit of time in that.
That was good.
You know what? Cinematography of it's great. I really, really loved that part of it. I really thought
There's
story
a bug coming here.
For me personally, I did not expect it to be Dark Soulsy as it was.
Oh, then I'm good. I need to buy that if that's what's the issue.
You were perfectly fine. And I was like, am I actually going to play this? Is it worth the $40?
Yeah.
I'm just going to get the refund because I'm probably not going to play it anymore. So, but yeah, other than that, I would tell everyone, go get it. It's actually really good. If you like Dark Souls, if you like Sekiro, Die Twice, pick it up because you're gonna be loving it.
And that's what you need.
Tell them about that No Man's Sky. Tell them about what it really is now, because I played it again after all the patches, after all the stuff, and I really think it's worthwhile.
I thought it actually the base building and everything was really cool. Like for me, I never played it before, so like when I saw the co-op happening even more so, I was with Dano's community doing it with a couple of the other guys. And being able to see someone else's base and being able to actually look them in the face and stuff, I thought that was really cool. And I think that it's very much
shout out to Lord Death Singer in the chat with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Let's have a great show. Xbox is the best box, but League of Legends have stuck its claws in me again. It's fine. Phil will save me with Gears 5. Salute Death Singer, man. We haven't seen him in a while. What's going on, Death? Everything good? Anyway, moving right along, we have the 4 horsemen of gaming, those original lords of the realm here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, Lord of Reviews, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
See, Dano, that's the extent of our intro.
Oh my God! I just extended. I gave you mad sauce on it, and you still complaining.
Doing pretty good, man. I try to do this this thing for Destiny, the Solstice, whatever it's called.
Solstice of Heroes, baby. Let's get that masterwork. Let's go.
I don't know, man.
Come on, man. Don't give up now. You got 2 days. Come on.
2 days.
2 days. Come on. You wanted to wait to cross save. You got your Xbox character.
But
Let's grind.
definitely.
Fine.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on my channel here in the next couple of days. So definitely, catch into that.
Absolutely, man. Any reviews coming up, sir? We like when you do those.
Yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing that Man of Medine or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah. Nice. It's kind of like an Until Dawn joint, right, Saul?
Yeah, I really like those games. Like I really do. Like I actually really like Control.
We're gonna talk about it. We got Danot in the building to talk about it. We got Saul in the building to talk about it. It's gonna be great. That's what's up, man.
You been playing it?
No, I was about to say, but unfortunately, I didn't get the review code, so. But Cognito didn't let me finish that statement.
Sorry. Continue.
But it's been a thing, and I definitely want to have like a moment of silence real quick for King. King. We have to remind ourselves of something. This 11 o'clock nonsense is about to start.
Yes, baby. Let's get it.
Man, I
to
was
September 8th.
Morning. Yo, on God, I was just talking about that this morning.
I think. Look. To be fair, I think we need a mourning period. Like maybe 1 week.
I got 2 more weeks before 1 p.m. goes away temporarily for about 2 months. NFL, we can't. Lords can't compete with NFL. We got to bend the knee.
Addict, check it out, man. I said they counted down the weeks. I said, man, 16 weeks of this crap. I said, but then also on top of that, these guys got to go to the playoffs. I was like,
nah, we ain't doing playoffs. We'll end it early. It's usually after New Year's. Relax.
because I was like,
no. We're not doing the full season. You know how that go. Most people's teams get eliminated after the halfway point. Then the enthusiasm dies down.
Okay, after San Francisco's going, we back?
Yeah, exactly. When my Niners are out, then we can get.
After week two, ILP will be back.
After week 2. Salute for your pettiness. And of course, we have the most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Chilling.
Nice, short, sweet. I like it.
Yeah, you guys pulled me away from control. I'm not feeling this.
Oh, man, the nerve of us to make you do this podcast. The nerve.
I love y'all.
I love you too, bro. Everything been good, man. You've been quiet this week. I haven't talked to you much this week.
Yeah, everything's been quiet. Like I honestly, shout out to Mr. Lee, Lord King's favorite person in the world.
Traitor.
I was not gonna jump on your line right now, but bro,
damn you!
You are on.
Oh, fraud alert!
You are on. Man, you can
fraud alert early.
I had to do it.
Wait, why he got the fraud alert kick? Please explain it. Why is the fraud alert out in the intros?
Mr. Lee is like, come to me, Brian.
Come to think of it, I really hope this man's not named Mr. Lee, because his last name is
Mr. Lee. All right, Dano, just for context, Dano, this is the guy that we used to grow up with. We used to get our games from in the South Bronx. So it's like, sometimes he would get games early. So, you'd have to resist that temptation.
You guys be acting like it was every time.
Well, it is every time. I'm trying to be nice.
It's every time. It's every time. Let me tell you something. See, Cog is going to whitewash it, and I'm going to give you the real, right?
Whitewash it.
You know how it's always one bully in the yard that toughen you up for life?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Lee is the bully in the gaming space.
So are you saying you got bullied, King? Is that what's going on?
Listen, I'm telling you, he is the original GameStop before GameStop was GameStop.
Yes.
All right. You can literally walk out his store with a game you just purchased and you brought it for $60 and walk right out the door and come right back in and say, nah, let me get that other game over there. I'll take that. That will be $5. What did you just tell me? Yes, that brand new game you got for me for $60 is $5.
He would devalue you. He would definitely. You learn the ins and out of game trading, Mr. Lee. You learn the harsh realities of your devalued used game.
Listen, and he has no better smile than when new games is coming out because he's happy. You walk in the door, his sheep is here.
It's like, the only time you really see him. The only time you really see him is when a big game has come out.
Yes.
He's behind the counter. He's managing everything behind the counter. He makes sure that he's there for those purchases.
Every last penny, making sure sure you ring him up. and listen, his face changes when you come back looking to exchange your game for another new game.
You're making me. You're starting to make me think this dude belongs on Supernatural or something. Like his face changes.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast. He used to terrorize us.
Yeah, he is. You'd be afraid to take your games back to him because you come out of there. Yeah, you if you took a console to him in a couple of games, you come out with 2 games maybe. Like for real.
Anyway, moving along. So that's been it, sir.
That's been it. Control.
No doubt. And of course, returning from sickness, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh,
that was late.
I'm still a little sick. I still think
he's sick. He's still sick. The timing wasn't. The timing's supposed to be better, man. You know how me and you rock.
I'm soaking it up.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, people. Hey, let me tell you something. First of all, let me give you a little bit.
Oh, we get combat talk?
Let me give you a little bit of combat talk, guys.
All right, let me mute this.
Oh, all right, yeah. Let's throw Attic in the bushes and let's get back to breaking this game.
That's fine. I got this chair, this drink in these bushes. I'm cool.
Before you get into it, we gotta hit the super chat. Scrub Nurse, wow, for the 20. Thank you so much, $20 super chat. Shout out to the Lord, stuck at work, but finally got to catch you live. Been loving you guys since I first heard y'all on Boom's podcast talking about Mr. Lee and imports. Keep up the great work. Yo, salute, thank you, brother. Me so much. PD in the chat. No. Izzy isn't around. He asked me to say FYI King Osof's from these. The bending of the knee already.
No, I think you're onto something, Pete.
I think you're onto something.
I am just the person's transitioning.
I just need royalties.
Don't shoot the messenger.
All right, let's do this combat real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so we had Sergey Kovalov versus Anthony Yard yesterday, and the reason why I didn't do the fight is because it was in Russia, and by the time you would have heard the show, the results was in. It went to 11-round knockout. Yard wasn't ready. Yard was at least 4 fights away from actually beating Kovalov. He gave Kovalov a stern test. Kovalov showed that the old lion still has some fangs. Pushed back the young cub. I thought that the young cub definitely was at a disadvantage. You know, you offer the young cub a big bag early in his career when he's still green, and you take him out early. As a Floyd Mayweather tactic, Lennox Lewis has done it to perfection. And I think Yard should have had somebody in his corner because all money is not good money. All right?
No doubt.
So let's get back to what's going on. I am so happy to be here, guys. I do appreciate every last one of you guys that hit me in the DMs. I love all the colors in the chat. You guys make me sing. My heart was bleeding last week.
Yeah, it hurt you a bit. Sorry, I can hear it. I can hear it hurt you.
When Cog called me, I was like, man, I'm trying, boss. I can't make it.
I said, man, your attendance is impeccable. If you don't rest and take the show off, please, man. I'd rather you healthy and good, man. But you sound great, man.
I was done. But all week I was taking turmeric shots all week. Wow. Turmeric, garlic shots all week, knocking that stuff out, tearing up my body, making sure that I got back to the show.
No doubt.
What I was playing all week though,
but
let me tell y'all. All right, so y'all see the arcade machine on the side over here. If y'all can see it through the mic and stuff like that. I was playing a whole bunch of old school games. So what I got onto is I'm going to just take a lot of videos, post it during the week. Y'all let me know. Hit me in the DMs or hit me on regular on Twitter. At me. And I'm gonna find your favorite game in there. 6,900 games in there.
Nice.
Trust me,
Retro.
got your game in there. And I'll post it. Give you back that memory, that feel.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Simpsons game you put up, the Spider-Man old school arcade game. That was cool, man.
It's beautiful stuff.
Real quick, Cedric H, thank you so much, brother. $10 super chat. Showing some love before I clock in. That's right. You get the Lords at work, man. Sunday. That's what's up, man. Thanks, man. Continue.
No. Ashton Luca. Ashton, give Ashton.
Oh, I didn't even see the Luca. Oh man, shout out Lady Luca in the building. Nothing can keep King down.
It's fine. There's not a lot of people that can see Luca when she's behind a steering wheel. So,
oh my! Stop it!
Wow.
Stop it! Nothing can keep King down. Shout out to the Lords. Love you guys and everything you do. Shout out to the Scumcast. Shout out to Lady Luca. Pay Addict no mind, Luca. We gonna get him. We gonna get him. Man. Don't even worry about that.
After seeing the amount of people that slow-mo be making fun of you, I had to do it one time, Luke.
Don't worry, we gonna get him on. We gonna get you on. We'll roast Addict, don't you? She said, Addict, you gonna get this work. There you go.
Listen, let me tell you something real quick about Game Pass and what I discovered inside Game Pass, other than the fact that it's awesome and everybody should have it. I was playing Abzu.
Ooh.
And the game
It's Luke trying to claim that 3 times when you were there saying about how many games they beat a year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good one. That's a scuba one, right?
It's a scuba game, but it's not that. I thought it was that, and it's not that. Make it to the end of the game, guys, and play it. It is probably one of the most artistic games I've played so far this year.
Nice.
The fact that it's free inside Game Pass, it's an equal bonus.
Nice.
Yeah, if you've ever played Journey, you'll like Abzu.
Okay.
You will love this game. It's very good. And also it's for everybody of all ages. So if you have children, your children can play it with no problem. Now there's another game on the other end of that spectrum that your children can definitely not watch. You play. It's Ruiner.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Yo, that game is such a visceral feel. When you able to speed dash all across the board like the Flash, and then slide up behind each enemy, shoot them in the back of the head, and then bang them with a pole, and they splat or they stick all over the place. It is a visually pleasing game. The sound is great, and the feel and the control of the game is immense. It is a very good game. All these stuff is in Game Pass. I played more games. I'm not going to get into all that other stuff. But shout out to Dizzy. I knew you were coming with your petty, sir. And you must be feeling a little bit better.
Shout out to Dizzy with the $5 super chat. Shame on those not seeing the sins of King. The man soft needs. It is Tithing Sunday. Hashtag collection plate. Hashtag like and subscribe. He's not letting that go. Every week, this man comes in here to make sure you pay retribution to solve on that man.
He's going to be real upset when that PlayStation 5 that look like binoculars, you have to slide.
Yo, you know what's funny? Is that one of the topics today? Like the rumored look of it?
We can get into it. We'll talk when we get to it. But real quick, though, salute to Dizzy. Yo, make sure y'all send him some love. He's going through some medical stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's on the mend. That's our lordsofgaming.net editor-in-chief. Please, the man is healing up and still finds a way to get into the podcast and show some love. But yeah, send him some love, y'all. He's on the mend. We wish you speedy recovery, sir. We miss you. I don't like running the website by myself. Come back.
yeah, please get that because Cognito is not getting my stuff up in time.
Oh,
as y'all can see, the new statue in the back, the Iron Patriot. It's up at the website, lordsofgaming.net. You go in there, dimensions. You make sure you get it there because Cog had to work doubly hard, and Snaldo has definitely been helping him out. Snaldo, the nice little elf, he just been there working with him.
I'm like Oz, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm like the curtain, okay?
And last but not least, we have myself, the Lord of the Cooperative Experience and Gaming Ninja. The Shinobi LordCognito, spreading that realness into the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, it's all about Destiny 2 cross save, y'all. Man, I was so happy, man. This was literally the moment I've been waiting for. I mean, Shadowkeep is nice. I'm excited for that, but this was actually the feature I was most excited. Got everything to work, you know what I'm saying, and moving my characters over from Xbox to PC. Feels good to have all that good stuff, man. Tremendous feature. So I was doing that. What else I was doing? The NBA 2K20 demo dropped. Messing around with that a little bit. Of course, a little bit more Fire Emblem. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. And Dragon's Quest, the demo on Switch. Yo, very impressed. I've never played a Dragon's Quest game before. And
are you serious?
I've never played a Dragon's Quest game before.
That's wow, you fake Nintendo. Wow. You absolute fraud.
Listen, I own it. I've never played one before, man. I thought it was a bit, but stop. But because it was on Switch,
Got that love.
I had to check it out because Switch, it just makes things so portable. It's so easy to use.
Shout out to Lord Loaded Pixels for his petty.
The convenience.
Did you see Loaded Pixels tweet? He was like, there's a non-Vaseline version on PS4.
Listen, man, but can you play it at the DMV? Can you play it from the toilet?
I don't want to go to the DMV.
Yo, I'm on a plane at least once a month these days. Dude, that Switch saved my life, man.
Talk about it, Dano.
There you go.
Talk about my man. See, that's why we love Lord Dano.
At no time do I catch you on your stream playing a Switch game. At no time do I see you, sir. You on that premium. So these dudes out here are actively frauding. They will buy the Vaseline version over the nice clear
frogs,
version.
man. How you gonna do me, frogs? I never played the Dragon's Quest, frogs. Don't come at me, fam, like that. It's my first introduction to the series. Well, yeah, it's been that, man. And that's been pretty interesting. But we got a lot of show to get into. Intro's very long. But now that we've got into what the Lords are playing, I want to start with Lord Danotage. His video game system history, his journey as an author and streamer, and of course what led him to working with charities like Extra Life, St. Jude, and of course PR for GuardianCon, well now known as GCX. But let's start from Lord Dano from the very beginning. Like, what was the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Well, I mean, like, all legit. My grandmother was my birth into video games, man.
Wow.
We had Atari 2600. We had old school stuff playing the Tasmanian Devil game on the big fat TV.
Let's go big back with the big back TV.
Bubble face.
Yeah. Oh, the huge back. Like it was the TV's like this big. The screen's like this big. Like,
the TV that
3 feet long.
The TV that doubled as furniture in the house.
Oh yeah, it looked like a jukebox in the background. Like that thing was huge, man. And yeah, we had the Atari hooked up to that, and then she also had like the original Game Boy that I was playing. Like she played all these casino games on there, and I think I played I played like Tetris and like a few other things there.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've been playing since I was, I've been playing games since I was like 4. Because she would watch me when my parents went to work and stuff like that. So
that's what's up.
So yeah, I was always doing that.
Shout out to grandma, man. That's an amazing. I think it's the first like grandma got you to get. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's still like she has no idea what I do for a living. She doesn't understand it at all. But she's still like she's always talking. She got her Amazon Kindle Fire or whatever.
Nice.
She's playing all kinds of games on that thing, dude. She's jamming, man.
The legendary.
My grandmother's pretty young. She's like in her 70s now, and like
that's
I'm
impressive.
I'm in my 30s, and that's just kind of how it goes. She's pretty young.
Nice.
But that's just how it goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So from there, and then went on to SNES and Nintendo, and then stuck on the PlayStation side for a long time until I got my first Xbox 360.
Ooh, what you have for 360? Talk about it.
Well, 360s were actually a lot of my gaming prowess came from. It's the only time in my life I actually did something professionally for a while.
Okay.
Played Call of Duty professionally on like the MLG and Cal leagues.
Wow. Nice.
Use those people. They'll use those people.
Oh, yeah, that means he was a beast.
He was those people that I'm like, dude, why do they all have the same name?
Dano said I was sweaty.
I was sweaty. When you all roll in there with like, you got 6 of your guys all with the same clan tag and stuff that like you changed your Xbox gamer tag to, yeah.
No doubt.
Only Xbox did, man.
No, that was us for real. And then we'd go out to like Vegas every now and then, do some tournaments.
Oh,
and
wow.
Get extra sweaty there, and dude, that was like through like, and I was like 18 when I was competing, and then but I was still like playing on those teams with since I was like 14. Like it was insane all through high school, a little bit and through college.
That's what's
but
up.
then I bought my first PC, and then I kind of never went back.
And then that was it. That master race life kicked in, huh?
That was kind of it until I bought a Switch, and now.
My man, pull the Switch out. There you go. Keep it up on the screen, there. Let them know. Let them see. Show it with your chest.
Right here?
Woo, my man.
And, if I go to reach for mine, I'm gonna have to dig in the bushes.
He threw his mother in the river.
No. That's what's up, man. It's tremendous history, man. Man, you've been through pretty much a lot of generations, just like the Lords, man. A lot of great systems. The 26, the 360, man.
Video games, man. Video games have become they've been my entire life forever, man. Like, legitimately, it's been. I mean, I've been in this industry professionally for. Not counting the esports stuff for 10 years now, so it's just been like video games just surround my entire universe. It's insane.
No doubt, man. Tremendous, man. So also we've also known you besides the history, like we also known you for these strategy guides. Could you tell us about that? Like how'd you get into that? You know what I'm saying? That aspect of it, gaming?
That actually my competitive history is kind of what birthed that as well. So I played on a team for a long time. Played on two different teams, one on PC and one on Xbox. Two completely different teams, didn't know each other. It's just I played twice, and then that was like, you know, everybody was like super sweaty and everybody's yelling at each other and trying to like get better and better and better. And I was like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm like 19 years old. I'm way too old for this. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, so I went to go find another team, which. The next team I found was not nearly as good by any means, but we were still a crew that stuck together. It actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, being on this podcast right now, it reminds me a lot of that team because a lot of camaraderie and a lot of time together and a lot of like brotherhood there, and that's what we became. In fact, I've got a poster. Weirdly, it's right here.
Oh, let's go! Bring out the poster. Let's get it. Let's take it back.
So we did one of these things right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Wow! Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, that's what's up.
But we did one of these. We did a signing. We did a signing event where.
Bring it to the screen one more time, down so the people can see it. Wow! Call it the Ghost signing event. Wow!
So that's Ghost. That is me.
Oh, okay.
That's me, and like the Ghost, like with the
thing.
cover
Okay.
from Ghost. That's me. That's one of our artists who actually was the leader of our group, who's an artist, professional artist. That actually leads into the next part of the story.
Okay,
so,
let's get it.
We were playing together. We never really did anything super professional for the gaming side of things, but we, our leader, Rich, who we started our website, started the team together and stuff like that. He started developing with one of our other web devs a online kind of map tactical system to where you can bring up any map in any of the Call of Duties, or SOCOM is where we started, and you would, you had to actually go buy the internet adapter for your PS2.
Yeah, remember that
in the back.
Remember
and
that
then
song?
Freaking hook a lineup to that. But yeah, so he was like, dude, we need to draw out some of these things. We need to bring some stuff in. We started our own league and stuff like that. So we're like, oh, we'll send it to everybody. So he would actually go in and draw the entire map using like the Game Shark to fly up in the air and draw all that out. And then Piggyback, which was an old game strategy guide company, was like, hey, we see these on here. We see you doing a bunch of stuff. You want to come in and like write a guide for us?
Wow.
So they brought in like four of the old members of the team and went in. They did their first SOCOM US Navy SEALs 2 strategy guide, and then they just started pumping them out. They started like asking them to come back because they were actually like real professional dudes.
Yeah.
And then I joined the team a little bit later, and they found out that my education is in communication and writing and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, let's send them out. I was also local to the Prima Games studio.
Remember that?
So that was,
it
was local to the Prima Games studio. So I went out there and talked with them, had a meeting, and they're like, hey, you want to write a Battlefield piece for us? And I was like, sure. So Battlefield 4, one of the first DLCs that came out, they're like, hey, we just want to do an online piece, do that, and started writing it, and they liked it, and I just kept coming back over and over again until they finally gave me my own book before they went under.
Wow, that's taking it back. I remember those, man. Prima official strategy guides. Oh, there it is. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Nice, man. Nice.
So yeah, Prima made that one.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many books everywhere that they're just, it's a huge part of just being in the industry was being able to go into these studios and actually like interview a lot of these designers, be like, yo, what did you do? How do we do this? How do we make it better? And stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So just out of curiosity, I don't want to like divert it. Like, so when you go to like, do they give you, what's the word I'm looking for? I've always wondered how a strategy guide is actually like developed. So like, do you just talk to the dev? Do you have to ask them everything, or are they pretty open with everything in their game for you to write the guide?
We know everything. Our job is to know everything. They bring us into, so like I did Star Wars Battlefront the first one when they relaunched in Redwood City. So what we did is we drove out to Redwood City. We went to the what we call EARS, EA Redwood City, and just sat in their office or sat in their studio for. I was there for 3 weeks. I played in the game basically every day. Came in on the weekends. Looked at everything. Looked at absolutely everything. Recorded. I don't know, like 60 hours of content, and then just went back. Like basically, we write notes and put all our stuff in, but we don't actually do any writing. Bring all the recording back and watch it all back and just start writing the entire book. But yeah, we're interviewing like some of the producers. We're interviewing a lot of the designers and stuff like that. We'll talk to the QA, like, hey, what are some good strategies for this? We'll play against the devs for a while to figure out some good things. Like, but a lot of the time, especially when we're doing multiplayer games, it's like me and my co-author playing against each other. So it's a 1-on-1 when it's supposed to be like 16-on-16. So we're trying to figure out what actually works there. So we have to guess stuff like that. But you know, it's a lot of guesswork. It's also a lot of, like you said, interviewing and also just playing the game for hours and hours and hours.
That's interesting.
That's really cool, man. Shout out to Tempest Sun with the follow super chat. You guys are legit legends. Love the show. And to King, how'd you like that Kate Diaz statue? I'm hoping to get it at some point, but it's kind of pricey. King.
All right. What I want you to do is hit me in the DM. You know, my Twitter. You should already know, Tempest Sun. Hit me. Send me the exact statue or whatever, and I'll go over it with you. And also, I can go over ways on how to get the statue at a cheaper price if you're having problems getting it, or give you different avenues to actually, you know, doing layaway plans and stuff like that, and who can facilitate those stuff. Because in the statue community, we have a lot of ties. So maybe somebody wants to let go of the statue at a cheaper price other than what you're seeing right now.
No doubt, no doubt. So yeah, man, moving on with Lord Danot, I want to talk about the streaming aspect. You know, that's what Lord Snaldo put me on to you. You know what I mean? And actually, it was funny because when I first met you, it was during the Katana Zero event, and I didn't know who you were. Just for full disclosure, like sure. I did. It was Petey educated me, and I'm like, oh, I did it. He's like, you know who you did that video with? I'm like, I had no idea. So
I fanboyed. I'll admit it. I was like, it's Dano.
I'm treating Dano like he's just some regular random guy playing Katana Zero, and I'm doing it.
He's one of the people that. He's one of the people that like EA hired to sit and just and not really know anything.
He's just some fan playing. I was like, would you mind me capturing some footage of you playing? He's like, sure.
That's all I am. I am just a fan.
Oh, dude, you are so cool. And I look back, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't even realize who this was. But at least I got to redeem myself and Guardian Card a little bit, give you a proper introduction.
No, it's all good, man.
All good, fun. Brother. But yeah, man. So I mean, obviously, a lot of people know you for streaming, the Twitch thing. You know what I mean, the whole thing. So just that whole streamer life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that really start? And then also talk about your work with Streamer Square, because I know you've got the book there and stuff like that. So tell people about that, man.
So streaming for me started almost 5 years ago, about 4.5 years ago. I had been an actor, had been writing and strategy guides and stuff like that. Like video games are obviously huge for me, and I was trying to do like a lot of different recorded content and putting it on YouTube and stuff like that. And it just wasn't necessarily working for me because I was too much into the production of like how it was going to go. And then finally, by the time I started actually doing the work, I was like, well, now I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. So I was like, oh, dude, this is just too much work. And then an old friend of mine, old now, he was new then, but he came up to me and was like, hey, so he knew I was podcasting for a long time. I should say that.
Oh, nice.
I was podcasting for like years. I did a lot of comedy podcasting.
Shout the name of the podcast. What was the name? So I can research.
I was called Dan Sucks, actually.
You could tell he was like low key not trying to say that.
He was like, you know, we do the podcast.
He's like, yeah, I know. I was like, why is he not giving me the
podcast? There's like a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Like, it's Dan Sucks, actually.
I was wondering, like, why is he saying the name of the podcast?
He's like, do I have to?
That was awesome.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done that one. But if you are at all interested in like, you know, just stuff like that podcast, the reason we named it that podcast is because I did a bunch of shows before we actually like released it. Was because I got to interview some like badass people.
Nice.
My first interview is with my first podcast. The very first episode is with Ashley Birch, who is Tiny Tina from Borderlands.
Okay, wow.
So shout out to Borderlands, but also Janet Varney, who is Korra from Legend of Korra. So that was my first interview. I was like, dude, we gotta like put this out or do something with it. And then people were like telling me like, Dan, you suck, dude. That sucks, man. You need putting that out, man. And I was like, yeah. So that's what it became. And then later I interviewed Peter Cullen, who's he's Optimus Prime from Transformers.
Oh wait, Cullen.
Yeah, Peter Cullen.
Oh,
he's also Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that.
We're not gonna let you glance over that. That is legendary. That is also the voice of Voltron intro, King, right?
Yeah.
That was what, bro. Peter. Yeah. Wow, that's what's up.
Listen, y'all are sitting here. I'm listening. I'm letting him flow. I'm letting him like you drain him.
Yeah, but we not gonna let him just run past that one. That's my childhood right there. Continue.
I mean, it was insane.
Past you when he was at Ears at EA. I'm sitting here like, what? Like, what?
Facts.
And he's like, yeah, so I was there for 3 weeks and I'm like, what? He's living people's lives and I'm just sitting here soaking it all up. Man, you're amazing and I'm just having so much fun right now. So
man. Go. Continue, brother. Continue on that.
No, thank you. That's amazing. I mean, it's just I'm gonna like truthfully, I've been living my very best life and like living my favorite life. I enjoy everything I do. I love it. Obviously, times get tough every now and then. We struggle, but knowing all the people that are behind me and they got my back and they're pushing me forward and all that stuff, like that's what keeps me going for real.
What's up, man.
So that's what I've kind of developed this stream around is keeping that positivity up and keeping everybody's hand on each other's back, pushing forward and stuff like that.
Yes.
As long as you got that crew behind you, you can do whatever the hell you want in your entire life, and that's kind of how it's become. Like, been with my girlfriend for almost 6 years now, and she's had my back this entire time.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
My parents have no idea what I do, but they still support me. They have no idea. Like they've been separated since I was 2, so they've never been a team together, but they've always like separately had my back and stuff like that. So that's been a huge help, and I've had my ins and outs. I grew up in Oakland, California. Have been all that. I've been shot at. I've been like threatened to be stabbed. I mean all that stuff. Like it's
all over that cheesing in Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's always over something stupid, right? But that's like there's the light and the dark, and that balance. Once you hit that balance, and you become the actual ultimate true gray Jedi, and you can actually take all that power and put it into something solid. You can do whatever you want, man.
Just don't be the Anakin of the world.
No.
Salute, man.
You're supposed to be the chosen one.
You are the chosen one, man. Shout out to Dan. He said that Dano's the slump.
And actually believe your sensei about him having the upper ground.
I've got the upper ground. He's doing. Now, salute, man. Tremendous. And then you got the book going on where it was a streaming square. How did you link with those guys? The whole Dan stream of thought kind of thing.
So actually, that's pretty recent too. Actually, so one of the last projects that Prima Games asked me to do was, hey, we want to do a book on Twitch, and they're like, you're the person that really we know that we trust because I've been working with them for years. That we can do a book, and I was like, okay, I only do the book if I do it my way, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. They're like, okay, just do this, and then. About midway through us getting ready to release the book is when they announced that they were shutting down. I was like, damn. But I wanted to put out something that was super powerful. And so I put together a really quick outline. I got one of my good friends, Kimberly, who works at Ubisoft, to be my co-author. And we put a bunch of interviews together. And we brought together this amazing book that has all kinds of information in it. But the big thing was we found a lot of people really knew a lot of positive things and really good things about how they grew their stream and their YouTube and their everything. Right. And we're like, okay, but they don't know how to talk about it because it's not easy, right? So I was like, okay, let's figure out how to get all these thoughts together and put it out there in a way that people can understand and fully bring in. So we put that together, and then both Loco and Hunter, who are the two owners of Streamer Square, they're both in the book. In fact, my producer was like, hey, can we put one of Hunter's quotes on the back? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And he was super cool with that. So we did all that, and I started announcing that the book was coming out and whatnot. and both Loco and Hunter were like, "Hey, do you want to do a project with us?" And I was like, "Sure." I'd been thinking about doing my own show, like kind of like a book club where we go through the book and actually talk about different topics and whatnot that's in there. And we turned the show into not only what the book was about, but being a professional in this industry, because a lot of these things that we see out there, we see so many people just straight up acting a fool. Like it's just, people are crazy sometimes. I'm like, we just need to sit down and really think about what it means to be a professional in this industry as a whole. So for streamers, for content creators of all kinds, for actual developers and producers and community managers, I try to put together a program where everybody can just listen to and actually like put their thoughts into what they're doing all the time and make them a better professional in that way, shape, or form.
Awesome,
so we put that show together, and then that became what it is now. And we're 12 weeks into it now. It's been going pretty solid, having some fun. Yeah,
keep it up, man. Real quick, Lord Dan in the chat says, "Yo, what Ubisoft location? I was invited to Ubisoft San Francisco a few years back and met a lot of people." I think he's asking you, Lord Dan.
Oh, a friend of mine. Yeah, she works at San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
She works at the San Francisco branch. Yeah, she was the associate producer for the South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Remember that? Nice.
That was a good game.
Good game. Salute.
So what? Addict's favorite.
No, I just like that technical turn-based thing. Like,
it's real good. Yeah.
They've got me every time, man. Every time South Park makes something, I'm like, man, I know I'm playing it. Like,
no. So I gotta ask this question because we got Lord Snaldo in here, Lord Dizzy in here, starting trouble. So about the whole Mixer and Twitch thing going on right now. I looked at your timeline. I know you had some things to say about it. I know you had some friends and strong relationships on both sides, but you know, especially after the Ninja, transformation, he went over the Exodus over there to Mixer. Like, what's your feeling on both platforms? Did you feel like how that was handled was done correctly? And just in general, I know your foundation is Twitch, but just overall, what's your feeling on this whole situation?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've seen my timeline, you know that I don't care about loyalty to any platform, right? Loyalty to a platform is just, in my opinion, is just ignorant and arrogant. We should all we're all content creators. We're all in the same exact world doing the same exact thing, all as one, right? So we're all doing the same. We're all working hard to be our very best we possibly can. So I think everybody across all platforms, no matter what you're on, we're all in this together. And we're
gamers, baby, gamers.
We're all gamers, exactly. Like, we're all playing freaking video games.
Common
which is
bond.
To bring people together.
Facts. Talk about it.
It's like I was saying a couple weeks ago when Walmart tried to pull that, we're not going to sell violent video games. And the time it took that your work gives you lunch break, gamers lashed out to them and they changed their mind. It's like we made a multi-billion-dollar corporation with a bunch of tweets. Like, okay, like we're stronger together than individually.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Gaming bring people together. But continue, Lord Dano.
No, so like the big point with that was I still don't know to this day, and I know Ninja decently well. Like I met a couple of times. We've had long talks. Like he's very close with all the GuardianCon GCX boys. So like we know him pretty well and stuff like that. And I don't know. I still don't know to this day why or what the big reason for it was. I'm sure there's a paycheck involved, whatever. Yeah. But a lot of it has to come with probably long-term branding and product placement and Microsoft being a team that he wants to be back of, and that's all good. What have you? So that has probably a lot to do with it. How it was handled was fine until Twitch decided to do what they did, and
I didn't like
break a bunch of stuff up.
Yeah, that stuff that they did, that was very underhanded. But understand, it's business. When you take your biggest commodity and your biggest commodity leaves, or your biggest face leaves and goes someplace else, I mean, it doesn't look good as on the brand. I just don't. I thought it was poorly handled, and I thought it was immature, but they got in front of it, and they put out the statement. We all know that the algorithms posted it, but it shouldn't have been done in that manner, but they handled it quickly. So you have to take them at face value that they didn't expect that to happen and they didn't want it to happen, but they also...
That was some pettiness that blew up in their face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically.
Well, let me explain why it was petty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it was. There was there was no change in their stock when Ninja left. They had already been showing Ninja's viewership declining and his monetization kind of declining. So they weren't really worried about him leaving. It wasn't a big deal. Somebody freaked out and pulled a couple strings and said, "Hey, we need to make this happen because if we don't, we're gonna lose out on tons of money that we can make." What have you? And viewership, so stock never declined really in any significant matter. Viewership across the board did not decline. In fact, it increased because of the actual release season coming up. And nothing really changed with him leaving and going to a different platform. Not to mention, a week later, we saw that his status on Mixer and all his viewership didn't really do anything after the initial launch. So nothing really happened, so Twitch never needed to do anything.
What it felt like, it felt like they felt like he was entitled to their platform. Like, if you're leaving, we made you. That's what it felt like to me. Like,
Fortnite made him, but sure, yeah,
exactly.
Well, I'm not saying that's true.
No,
I'm just saying it felt like that's what they were saying.
Real quick, just to backtrack 1 second on down. Average Giant, he's asking Dano. He said he missed the name of the book. Can you put the book up one more time to the screen so that people could see? He's very interested. He wants to know.
It's called Twitch, Creating, Growing, and Monetizing Your Live Streams. You can find it on Amazon.com or Target.com.
No doubt, no doubt. There you go, Average Giant, straight from the legend himself. No, but I hear you, man. We definitely agree. We didn't like the way, it was handled and all that good stuff. But last but not least, then we'll move on, is GCX, man, where I got the chance again to bump into you. We know you are PR, which I was proud to learn that day when I talked to you. And yeah, man, like, so formerly Guardian Con, how did you get involved with that? Literally one of my favorite events, and my shout out to my co-host from The Last Word. That's literally where I met Ibantis, maybe the second Guardian Con ever, back when it was Destiny Con, I believe. And yeah, man.
Destiny Community Con,
yes, Destiny Community Con over at the Tampa Bay. What is it? The Fairgrounds.
Yeah, the Fairgrounds. Yeah. So yeah, it was. It began in a sweaty bar with the capacity of 300 people, and they brought out 1,000. So they kind of said, "Hey, we need to do something bigger because this is apparently what happens." So you have the boys, right? Was what we call them. You have King Gathalion, Corey. You have Ben, who's Professor Broman, and then you had Kevin, K Magic 101. Recently added Tim Darkness from Facebook. He's streaming on Facebook now. So you have a lot of different platforms that have come together to make one. So basically, there's a bunch of Destiny guys, including T-Rex, who's Professor Broman's brother and also an amazing streamer and a good friend of mine. But so we're all actually everybody in that group, we're all managed by the same management company, Online Performers Group. Cool. So we kind of had a connection already through a lot of that, and a lot of those guys are friends already. But I've known Professor Broman for about 3 or 4 years now. And then we've had a couple conversations, and I was able to make him a couple connections way back down the road about something. I don't really remember what it was. And he seemed to really like the way I was able to talk to people and put things together and actually put, names out there for people that, oh, I remember what it's for. So I did a Madden strategy guide. I did 2 Madden strategy guides way back in the day. And but Professor Broman wanted to bring out like some football players and some NFL players to Guardian Con like 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, oh, okay, I'll make a connection, whatever. And then he really liked how we did it, and I was like, can I do anything else for Guardian Con? Can I do anything to help, because it's a charity convention? So we're like, can I help the kids? Because I mean, we'll get into that later. I'm really big into charity. And he's like, well, we really need somebody that can do some like public relations and show off like some of the things we're doing to the gaming avenues and some of the people that write like Kotaku and Polygon, stuff like that. I was like, yeah, let me see what I can do. And it turned out that I was able to get Guardian Con in the news in Tampa and be able to put them in the newspaper and stuff like that. So it really like spread the word, and we just kind of went from there.
Bro, that's awesome.
People that way.
That's awesome, because a lot of the reason why it drew me and Ibantis is that I don't think the Destiny community got enough credit for the work that they did with St. Jude, and like that whole bit coming together and how much they raise each year. you know what I'm saying, for it is tremendous. And just to see that level of exposure for that, finally, you know, the community getting credit. And I like the whole slogan, like gaming, the good in gaming. You know what I'm saying? That is really, really
gaming
important.
Does good, yeah.
Yes. I love that slogan. When I walked in, the first thing I seen, and it was tremendous, man. Just to see, like I said, your involvement with it was really, really cool.
Trust me, it's my big fight right now because the general American media can't stay off of video games being violent conductors, and I'm like, are you serious? You see how many millions of dollars we just raised to help the kids? Like,
preach it, brother, preach it. You know I'm gonna fight that fight with you. Like that. That's
gaming does good, and we want to show that legitimately. So
preach, man.
Yeah,
awesome, man. Awesome.
That's just a huge political thing. They're just trying to get their hands into our games.
Stay out.
I mean, see, it's a $1 billion company, so or $1 billion industry. So yeah,
no doubt. So before we wrap up, we got LordCognito. Any questions, LordCognito, man? Anything for the legend? This your man in the building. This is your moment. Shoot your question, brother.
We talk all the time.
He's like, this ain't his moment. We talk every day.
Literally every morning, like Danot will be streaming, and I'll hit it up when I get into the office at work, and I'll just be like, "What's up? Morning, how's it going?" And we have our conversations. And we hit up back and forth on Discord all the time.
Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see?
I got a question.
You see, Snaldo, I'm double redding for you today.
Hold on,
redding for you today.
Hold on. I could double red also if you want. I got another one right here.
Listen,
I got another red one.
The inside joke, Dano, is that Lord PD, he doesn't have any other color ILP shirts. That's the inside joke. He literally does, but he loves the red one. Thus, he's Lord Rojo.
Listen,
red looks good, man.
I made sure that he had his colors, and this man doesn't care.
I'm gonna get him a Dano shirt, and it's gonna be red.
I'll do it. I'm a big fan of red.
No, Addict, you had a question before you move on? You said?
All right, Dano. This is extremely important. Life or death.
Oh,
what's your class on Destiny?
What's my class? Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
I'm a danger boy.
Wow.
Wait, what are you?
I'm a danger boy. I'm a Titan.
Oh man, you were doing so well, then. You were doing so well.
I hate Destiny when I play as a Titan.
Oh man, and Saul playing with Titan. That just to disqualify him on that.
I like this thing, man. I think.
Oh no, now you like him. Oh, now you think he's on to something.
I mean, I'm playing Crucible, and I pull out them lightning fists. I'm just gonna take you out. Right?
Oh man, shout out to the Titans out here, man. Y'all rocking. I respect it.
Shaking my head over here, right?
No
doubt. I was mystified until you said that.
No doubt. Shout out to Dan from All Season Gaming. He said, "Boo this man." Shout out to Bad Bit Gaming's Warlock 1000. That's right. Let's get my Warlocks up in there. No doubt.
I mean, my second class is a hunter. I can't.
Doesn't matter. You said Titan. Doesn't matter.
I can't touch a Warlock though. I can't touch a
Warlock. Oh, you gotta embrace the floof jump.
You know what it is? Jump, right? It's the jump, right?
It's the jump.
It really is. It really is.
It is the jump. The jump is whack.
All right, I give you that. The jump is whack.
I hear anybody say they are not a warlock is because of the jump.
Yes.
Other than that, warlocks are fantastic.
What's funny is when you use a warlock, you gotta like learn your own language. Okay, if I jump here, am I gonna make it to this one? Can I make it to this rock if I jump to this rock? A Titan's like, I'm just gonna jump over it all.
Yo, the chat is lit. Shout out to
I will tell you what. Okay. Warlocks beat me the most in PvP.
That's right. All right. We feeling bad. Shout out to Jonathan being in the chat. He's definitely
That's
on
because
something. Shout out to Bad Bit. Shout out to Slow Mo. I never played Destiny, but when I do, I play as a Warlock. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Chat is hilarious. No doubt. So the last question to get you before we go is into the topics is I asked everyone, I need Lord down. Are you ready? We need the top 5, your top 5 video game or franchises of all time.
Ooh. Well, my number one. See, I fight with number 1, number 2 right now. Mm-hmm. My number 1 is gotta be still Enter the Gungeon. I'm a big roguelite fan. That's kind of my jam. Mm-hmm. And that took over my Knights of the Old Republic love.
Oh man,
at
least. What's funny is I was talking about that yesterday. He's like, I didn't know you like Star Wars.
I had no idea. We were literally just talking about that game yesterday. Literally,
I was like, because I was telling LordCognito like the story is so dark in Knights of the Old Republic that Disney will never touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No. Well, they touch on Grey Jedis, and Grey Jedis are too. They're too complicated for the general audience.
That's what's up. So we got those two. We got the roulette. We got
those are my big twos. The other ones, like I go all over the place. Like I like Darkest Dungeon is up there. I like Call of Duty 2 is up there. You know, what else am I looking at? You know, Binding Isaac is not. It's not my top like in my top 5, but it's in my top 10.
Okay.
Like,
so give me that last one to round out the 5.
I mean, shoot, dude. I mean, what, Dragon Age probably?
Okay,
Dragon
which
Age
one? Which one? Or just the franchise in general?
The franchise in general. I like the entire franchise is beautiful.
Are you nervous for the?
Are you concerned about what's going on?
I can't wait to see it, but I also don't ever want it to come out because they lost two lead producers in like 3 months, man. It's like. What's going on, dude? Like, it's bad.
Do you think it's actually, like, me and Sav had this conversation, do you think it's a situation where it's just not the same BioWare we grew up with, and, you know?
It's not at all. We know that I know it for a fact. I'm pretty close with a lot of EA, and I know for a fact it's not the same BioWare. There's so many people leaving. It's not the same team anymore. EA has their fists right in their throat. Like, it's gross. Like, and no, it's not like terrible inside information. I haven't really seen that for a long time, but like, it's not the same. I mean, how much flack? Like, because EA is so sensitive to online flack that the amount that they got for the last Mass Effect Andromeda and the amount of flack that they got Anthem. For Anthem, EA is just they're gonna tear them apart.
That's what I'm worried about.
They can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah, that's literally what me and Addict talked about. We were just worried. We're like, they can't have a third flop because at this point EA could the studio.
Yeah,
you know what I was
there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and what I was telling LordCognito, I was like, any other dev, like there's very few devs in this industry that can get away with 2 flops back to back. Like, and I think, you know, BioWare just has that clout that they're like, all right, you know, we'll give you Dragon Age. But I you know, just out of curiosity, because I was talking to this with LordCognito, do you think that if Respawn, you know, has a successful what's that Jedi game? I keep forgetting the name of that game.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi
Fallen Order. Do you think if that game comes out and it does really good, do you think that might, you know, give EA a little bit more insight on how they should run studios?
Well, no, because Respawn is completely independent. They do whatever they want. And
facts.
Anytime EA says, "Hey, we want you to do this," they tell them to go.
I thought EA bought them.
Oh no, they own them, but they don't get to say anything because Respawn just prints them money.
Yes, and
Respawn makes them millions of dollars, and Respawn says, "We're gonna do whatever the hell we want, and you guys can't say anything about it."
Exactly. They probably had it in their contract too. They're probably like, "Hey, you got to leave us alone," because they saw what they ended up doing with all the other games that they were messing with.
Respawn has never made a bad game, and they've been around since the beginning. So Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, not 3, but 1, 2, and 4. Apex,
Titanfall,
both Titanfalls. Those are 2 guides I wrote too. Titanfall 1 and 2.
Oh, you did the Titanfall?
Wait, you did the private Titanfall one?
I've got the full helmet up here and stuff.
Yeah, I got that.
Get the helmet.
Because when I purchased it, I had to. They were like bundling it up with GameStop, but pretty well done. I mean, that stuff is really well done.
Oh, it's real good.
Listen, we really supported Prima. I can tell from me, Cognito, and Sovereign. You know, I can definitely tell you offhand, we definitely supported them. And I was talking about the Elder one right before they closed. That I purchased the big book.
Was there any other like competition that was making them with them? Like, I know Prima did it. Was there another company that did strategy guides?
Yeah, Brady. Then became.
I didn't know which ones was which, man. I know I was a big fan of like the Elder Scrolls. Like, there's very few games that back when I was like in my early teens, I used to buy all the Pokemon ones with it. I bought all the Elder Scrolls with all the Fallouts, and then what's funny is I never used them. Like,
for us, we don't really buy for like adventure games. We do mostly the fighting game ones. Like
fighting
game ones are crazy. Those are almost always Prima.
Tekken, boy.
Oh man, I got pages missing.
So there were 4 strategy guide companies, like major ones. The fourth one I can't ever remember because it's like a weird Russian name or something. Then you had Piggyback, who did like 7 guides a year because they put so much work into them. And then you had Brady Games and you had Prima Games, who were the 2 top competitors. At one point, the parent companies, so Penguin and Random House, the ones that own Prima and Brady Games, they combined. So that means Brady and Prima combined and became one company. And then they were the kings and the giants. But then everything kind of sort of fell apart because like print was dying and they weren't keeping up with a lot of online content and stuff like that. So it became one big company for about the last 3.5 years. And then they finally went under.
I was
Do you
telling
think they would have been better off being separate and not merging as one entity?
No, I think the industry was dying, and I think if they were to both stay separate, they would have cannibalized each other faster. So coming together made them last a little bit longer, but they didn't keep up with everything because they were so old school that they,
because it almost feels like I remember. I'm gonna get you go at it 1 second. It almost feels like that era, like it was a specific time pocket where that strategy guide, you went and got your used game, you got the strategy guide. It was like part of the process.
It was part of the purchase. Like when you went in, you got your game. You made sure that you got your strategy guide. And some guys, and girls, what we would do is we put the strategy guide to the side. It was just like ego, accessory, right? And we'll play the game, and then after we finish the game, we'll go back to the strategy guide.
I still have the hardback version for Final Fantasy 13.
I still have all my Final Fantasy.
I gotta get you guys one of these.
I got that.
Sealed, bro.
This is because I had like 3 more copies, but this is one of my last things.
And because I haven't went to GameStop really like in years, but like, well, I ain't gonna lie, like when they went out of business, like that actually hit me. Like I was like, man, it's changing, man. Like it really is.
That's one of the best ones. Did you see the binding of it? And you see the gold around at the top?
Yeah, the gold.
Yeah, beautiful. Man, that is one of the best ones.
Is that the one with the gold right around the ribbon?
Yeah. Wow, it got the binding
gold
too.
This side?
Yeah, the gold paper.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's serious. That's nice.
That's a really good one.
Now, I wonder if like certain companies that sold, because I'm sure there were still certain games that sold like strategy guides. I wonder if like the companies will actually like in-house make one.
Well, they made they partner with these other companies. In fact, Prima Games, we did a lot of those for them. They partner with other companies and they do them. So like Dark Horse does a lot of Dragon Age stuff. They do comic books, obviously, but they do a lot of video games things as well. But I mean, print is gonna until people actually companion digital content with it, print will always die because if I don't know how to do something, I literally pull it up on my phone. I'm good, like in 10 seconds.
IGN has like all those guides now, right in there.
It's the YouTube era, the video era. You're completely right. That's what killed it.
Digital era.
I just thought, like, I'm okay with a lot of things dying, but those strategy guys hit me certainly.
Yeah, they hit me hard.
I'm like, like music going digital, games going digital, video going digital. I'm like, oh, it's whatever. But when those strategy guys went digital, it's like I don't know that it. Like I can look up stuff. I mean, I even make how-tos on my YouTube channel, but like there was nothing that had like that weird feeling when you're flipping through like a strategy guide and you're looking at all the artwork and
the artwork.
We put so much work into it all the time that like you can see the actual like hard sweat and tears that go into those books. Like,
it was beautiful. What Sovereign and I used to do was, what was the name of that website that we used to go to?
GameFAQs.
GameFAQs. We used to go to GameFAQs first, right? And GameFAQs, it looked like binary talk. And then the strategy guides came out, and they were so much more visually stimulating to the eye, and it just completed the package.
Especially,
go ahead.
Especially that Skyrim strategy guide.
I have 4 of those holding up my monitors right now. Because they're so thick. They're so thick. My boy David Hodgson writes those, and he writes a lot.
What is the biggest strategy guide that you ever wrote?
That I ever wrote? I mean, I worked on the Witcher 3 guide, but the one I wrote was probably I don't know, probably Titanfall 2, honestly. That or Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh,
Inquisition. I had to get that Titanfall 2 one also because GameStop was giving you a discount.
Yeah. Well, my favorite one.
What's your favorite?
My favorite one is the Star Wars Battlefront one because we gave away these. So if you ever get your hands on a collector's edition one, it's a soft touch cover, so it's actually like a soft, like foamy touch. And then we also gave there's full lithographs of the planets and maps that were in the game, which were super dope.
Wow, that's dope.
That's my favorite. Those are my favorites.
Dude, we can talk about these guys.
I know you can't wait for Mandalorian, right?
I'm gonna stop asking questions. We low key
the Mandalorian.
When you saw D23 this weekend, you saw Mandalorian. You was like, oh boy.
Oh, that's.
I don't get excited about many things with Star Wars.
When I saw what I really, man, I just said I wasn't gonna detour. Man, okay, last
question for Danotage.
When I saw those stormtroopers helmets on the sticks, I was like, okay, now I'm really thinking like Disney is starting to realize that okay, we do have an audience that there aren't kids. Like we gotta be a little bit more dark in certain areas.
Well, they showed one of the IG assassin droids, which those dudes mess people up. Like those dudes take on 13-1 in a lot of the books. They're crazy.
Listen,
did you see them when I hook them through the door and then the door closes on the
half?
Yes. Like, when did this happen? As soon as I saw the trailer, I went to my phone app like, okay, is it available yet?
I am.
They also have Gina Carano, who now is an actor, was an ex-MMA
fighter. She was a beast back there, too.
Yeah. She's a beast. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
my girl.
Yeah,
absolutely. Salute, man. Look, we got to move. We keep Lord Dano here all day. We got to get the show going. We got to get the show going. But, salute, man. Tremendous history, tremendous top 5. Let's get into the rest of these topics and the show. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: when you hear of studio leads of prominent developer departures prior to the launch of a title, how concerned are you regarding the quality of the title moving forward? The winner of a pretty close 3-way ILP poll is the yes, I'm very concerned, based on the level of departure group. Coming in at second place at 44% was no, minimal concern. Devs leave jobs every day, B. Group. And last place at only 3% were our shallow lords. I don't care until it's my favorite studio group.
That's totally me.
Thanks shout out to all the lords who participated in the poll. Lord Sovereign, what do you think about this poll, sir?
We won, yes.
You are concerned. That's right. You were adequate at it last week. I took that snippet.
This makes me want to go back and listen to your guys' show right after Bungie left active.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
I think we spent like an hour just on that topic. Saab was sleeping, but we were talking.
Salute to all. We got another poll coming on at the end of the show. Let's get into these topics. Lord Addict, you are up. Something happened in Germany, man. What's going on with Gamescom? What's popping?
Something happened in Germany?
What? So. What? Some big type of show?
It's some type of event? Is that what's going on?
I never heard of such a thing.
Somewhere I got my cologne at. Somewhere I got to.
So, for anyone that's watching this, I'm sure you know, we just had Gamescom. And, what I want to go over, there's a couple things that happened at Gamescom, inside Xbox. Jeff Keighley actually he put on a good show. Like, I really enjoyed his, what he presented there, except for the Death Stranding. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, Lord.
But, I want to...
What's going on there?
I want to just, talk about, what your general thoughts of Gamescom was and what your highlight of the entire event was.
Let's get Lord Danotage in, man. What was Gamescom, now that the coverage is kind of winding down and everything, like any highlights, any things that stood out for you?
I mean, I found out about so many things before and after Gamescom that it's like I don't even actually know what it's even talked about at Gamescom anymore.
Gotcha.
I know that they talk anything about more Scarlet stuff? Like
no, but you can disclose really. If you choose.
No, I don't really know anything about it. That's all I'm curious about. Like that's the big thing. I did see that they're still pushing out Borderlands stuff. All my friends at Borderlands or at Gearbox were super psyched. They won like most anticipated game at Gamescom.
Yeah, Bleeding Edge won an award there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there's a lot of people that are looking forward to all those games. And I mean, I'll tell you firsthand, Borderlands it's dope. Like I'm super excited for that game because I've gotten to play like a few hours of it. It's real smooth and it's real good. So that's a good one to be looking forward to for sure.
Absolutely. But so Borderlands on the list, got a chance to touch a little bit of it at Guardian GCX, and it looks fantastic, man. They definitely come. I'm just happy that now that Destiny is a little bit away from it in October, I can actually enjoy it a little bit more longer before Shadowkeep comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that with Kid Smooth. I'm kind of worried because Kid Smooth kind of rages a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna start playing that game with him, and I have a feeling I'm gonna end playing that game like solo. Like
he'll play with you.
No doubt.
Not that game. That game will keep you good.
Facts. So Lord PD Los Nado, man, with anything on Gamescom that got you excited that you're looking forward to?
So there was actually a couple of things that kind of popped up that I was a big fan of. Believe it or not, Kerbal Space Program. I played the first one. I loved it. I can't wait to see the new things that they added and the new type of way that's working. That Watch Dogs 2. Oh, I'm sorry, Watch Dogs Legion.
Yes.
Oh my god, the game looks so good.
It looks so good.
I know you guys. I know you guys gonna make fun of me, but I really haven't been keeping up with Watch Dogs. Like,
no, bro, you gotta see this new one.
I believe it or not, I started the second one yesterday morning because I have had it. I've just
same here. I've had it.
That's a damn good game. That's
one is kind of bad. Honestly.
Yeah, true.
I think that's what did it for me. Like there's very few games. Well, I don't force myself to finish any game now, but like Watch Dogs was that last game that I forced myself to finish, and I was like, never again. It's over.
That game was bad, but two was beautiful.
Really.
I grew up near San Francisco, so like watching all that. Like,
so
it
was accurate, right? That's one thing about Watch Dogs. It was very accurate.
But Legion, dude, Snally, you gonna get a granny squad going?
I will. Those grannies are kick ass, man. Language, my bad. But yeah, they're good. But the one thing that I was kind of the most surprised about was Greedfall. Now I've seen a bunch of stuff about it, but I like the way that the communication is with your party and the people, and seeing how things are gonna end up. I was like, is this gonna be kind of like a new type of Mass Effect type genre of game where you're gonna have like options to pick, and the options you pick are gonna depend upon if the people live, they die. I'm like, and it's medieval times, which is kind of like the stuff I like. I'm like, like, is it going to be like a Kingdom Come Deliverance type game? What is this going to be? And I was just like, I can't wait to get my hands on that. That's probably the one game I'm the most excited
I forgot about because the trailer, it looked very interesting. I got like BioWare vibes as far as like I got Inquisition vibes. Like a dude, if you piss them off, they'll leave your crew, and it surprised me. I got to give you a Greed. I think shout out to Dizzy. He's been on that Greedfall train for a minute, and when I finally saw that trailer, I got to give that up. I was definitely intrigued by it. It showed
these days.
Did another one about the companions, like directly about the companions and how they operate with your group itself. And I'm just like, I'm like, you can piss these people off, they'll leave. You could actually, you have to be able to like do things to entice them to get into your group now. I was like, that's a whole new aspect. I was like, are we gonna have to pay these guys off? You're gonna have to kill people? What are you gonna do? Is this person not gonna be able to join my group?
When's the release date, man? Do we know when?
It's soon. It's soon. It's like the middle of next month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's October. I'll look it up real quick, but yeah, it's
very good.
September 10th. It's in.
Oh, it's in September.
16 days.
September is brutal, man. Oh man.
Oh my god.
If it doesn't fall in Game Pass, it's not falling.
Greedfall might have to hold.
Damn, it's in a bad month. Oh.
Yeah, did any of you see that? Did any of you see that gameplay on the Outer Worlds?
Yeah,
I did not.
It looked kind of spooky, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
dude, Outer World looks fantastic. I can't wait for that. So that's an Obsidian game, and Obsidian has also made amazing good games.
Yeah. They made one of my favorite. They made my favorite Fallout game, but that AI in that game looked bad.
You didn't
like but I'll figure it out when it comes out.
I'm hoping that. Well, that is coming out in Game Pass.
I'm hoping I'll figure it out.
I'm hoping when the actual game comes out, like that AI is improved, because they were just sitting there getting shot up, like they weren't trying to move. I'm just like, man, because I'm really like, you can ask LordCognito, I'm really looking forward to that game. And when I saw that, I was like, Ooh,
I
I
hope
hope
they got
this
time to
isn't
improve
like
it a little
this.
bit. I hope they got time to improve it a little bit.
I don't care if they improve it at all. It's
Shut up, Lord Sovereign. Your Gamescom coverage or anything that specifically caught your eye? What you looking at, man?
Honestly, I mean, the Avengers, just because we finally got
better showing.
Yeah, a better showing, a clearer showing of what the game is. I'm not sure that I'm sold on the game, but the fact that I see what they had to do with giving each Avenger their own shine and sort of like putting them in scenarios where their specific powers can shine. I just don't know that that's the game.
I only saw the Black Widow one.
Oh
yeah.
Like, as long as I can be Bruce Banner and Smash, I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I said. Right?
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's kind of on rails. It's very linear. And I don't know. And I was talking to Cog about this. I said, if the narrative pulls it off and the upgrade and skill tree is good, then the fact that it's linear won't bother me as much.
Yeah.
See, people can do the on rail thing. It's just like the rest of your game has to be on point.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't think they're targeting you at all. Be honest with you, I don't really think they care about how you feel about it at all. I really think they're thinking Timmy needs to get his Avenger groove on, and he's looking for the moms to get this for the year.
I actually liked what I saw. Like
it looked good. Like, the engine looked good. I have to admit, and I've given it a lot of crap.
And keep in mind, I saw the one that people said they didn't like the most. That was the Black Widow one. Like, what I really liked about it is like when you sitting there giving Taskmaster that work, like the other Avengers are flying and doing stuff around her. So like, I really enjoy. Like, I still don't like how they look. I don't like how they sound. But I
don't like the voice.
The problem is
staged, and my hope is that you could. What if you could just switch back and forth between them, right?
What? You talking about jumping from superhero to
superhero? I don't think that's happening.
It almost felt like like chapter. This is this guy. I feel this like one is that guy. Like it seemed like everyone's. Everyone has a stage.
Has their own section.
That's what it felt like. But they went for that big cinematic feel. You know what I'm saying? Up close, kind of a deal.
If you see who's making it, it's the same people that made Tomb Raider. So you have that, like you said, that cinematic vibe to where you're gonna be, kind of on rails, a little bit loose, but it's really gonna be for the look of the whole thing, right?
And show them in the best light.
And I'm a huge boss person, and when she knocked that Taskmaster and he fell, and I thought it was over there. I was like, nope, this is over. But there was different sections of the Taskmaster fight, so like I enjoy that. Like
just like in Spider-Man, right?
No, we're not bringing that up. It's not even remotely the same thing. We're not even talking about that because I have to go to work today, King.
Real quick.
I'm just about to say they just used in a rehashed supervillain. I'm just saying.
I mean,
King, real quick, Lee Bird. He's like, yo, fam, where do I get those baby blue headphones? He's feeling them. He's like, he's in the chat asking mad.
Actually, these are white, sir. You seeing the baby blue because of the lighting, But actually, these are the JBLs. You can go at Best Buy. Hit those up right there.
You need to start. They need to give you an endorsement.
We're gonna need to get a sponsorship for all this product placement.
I stopped using the beats. I stopped using the beats. Dizzy Snaldo's favorite color.
Send them over. I'll take free beats. Send them over.
I stopped using the beats because I didn't like the audio quality of the beats. I thought the JBLs, being that I'm an audiophile, actually bring that across for the price range that I was working in. So you can definitely get these for under $100. They're better than the studios, in my opinion.
No doubt. So, anything else, Solve, that caught your eye before we move on?
I mean, just for the weird factor of Death Stranding. What's going on, man? Like,
can we please just all come together as a community and be like, I don't know what's going on. I'm still standing by my term that, maybe Kojima deserves to be in a straitjacket. Like, I'm just saying. Like,
maybe
I don't understand.
I don't mind weird because, Control is plenty weird.
It's weird and it's confusing and weird.
But not in this way. Like, Kojima's, I've always said this about Kojima. He'll take a simple concept and convolute it for no reason. And then
I'm really starting to think Konami kept this dude in check. Like, I'm really starting to think Konami kept this dude in check.
And that's generous, because if you try to follow that, you try to follow the Metal Gear Solid timeline, good luck.
Oh well, you know where he lost us though. I got to shout out King. Man. Yes, what Metal Gear was that? Where we got to some part at the end, and one of the secret people involved, where he was like, "Yeah, who was it? The Lolly Lily Lalu?" And I'm like, he jumped the shark. He jumped the shark now. Like, what's going on?
I think I called you, Brian, right after that. I called you as soon as he said that, and I said, "Did you just hear that?" And he was like, "Hell yeah, what's going on with this man?" I said, "This is absolutely it for me." With these
what's funny is like I can't really talk about cringeworthy dialogue anymore because I play Kingdom Hearts. So the whole game is cringeworthy. So
Lord. But anyway, so Sav, you still intrigued?
I mean, weirdly intrigued. Yes, I'm gonna get it because I want to see what it is.
Weirdos. Like, I think you deserve to be in a straitjacket for saying.
Let him finish at it. I don't disagree with you at all. I deserve to be in a straitjacket. Shout out to Dizzy. He said I'm getting my R. Kelly on.
Oh wow, wow! This guy moving along.
I think honestly, when it comes to Death Stranding, I don't really think that. I think all this stuff is like smoke and mirrors. I believe those are mocked up trailers that he's giving out to the public to get this conversation rolling, and you're gonna get a really straight-laced game. It's not gonna be buttoned down game.
And you're gonna pull the curtain from your eyes and be like, "Yo, this is actually just a puzzle game." It's a puzzle game.
Amazing.
I mean, he finished it in 4 years, which for Kojima, that's crazy. Like that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No doubt.
I'm baffled. Like I don't understand what's going on. And like, people.
Jonathan B put up this is a baby simulator. Jonathan, first, I don't read nothing unless it's in color. Second,
my God.
you
reading that's contradicting your statement.
Listen, I gotta read Jonathan B because he's gave us a lot of quality. But I'm only gonna say this for one reason, because it's throat baby simulator.
Oh my Lord.
Ridiculous.
Why'd you have to go there?
The baby's gonna come out.
Went there. I just
the baby's gonna come out, and its first words are gonna be in Daryl's ears. Says "Lale Lule."
yo, if they do that, that game's go straight in the bushes. It's good.
You know what they're gonna do, Cognito? They're gonna do it at the very end. Like that's gonna be the closing dialogue.
Baby's gonna come out and go "Lale."
Shout out to Anchor Man. He said, "Shake the baby to calm it down. I'm waiting for the lawsuit." It's no doubt, man. Lord King, anything? Oh, I'm sorry. I saw him finish off.
Yeah, this is just a testament to how weird Kojima is in general. There is an article on N4G, I forgot who wrote it, detailing the history of urine in Kojima games.
I'm done.
All right, let's get past the urine.
Let's move on. What else have you excited? Those are pretty much your standouts for you.
Those are my standouts. Yeah.
No doubt. Lord King, Gamescom, sir. What is on the radar? What are you feeling?
All right, so what I use Gamescom for is actually all the free stuff that you get during the week from Microsoft, to be honest with you. I think Microsoft goes a little bit harder than any other company, even though Nintendo did release a lot of stuff out this week as far as demos and stuff. But it was Generation Zero that I got a chance to play this week because of Gamescom. And I think that is a highly underlooked game right now.
Very unique game.
Yes, very unique. It's like Fallout. Yes, I did say Fallout.
Oh, you're gonna get Anchorman in this chat now.
And it's 4 people, drop in, drop out. The world, it has a story to it, has a background set in the 80s, so it has a Stranger Things type of feel to it. The game is very unique. I hope they continue to work on it because it feels just right. It feels like it's in pocket, and the frame rate, the engine that they're using is outstanding. So that's what I took away from that part. But when I saw that Destiny they talked about on a Microsoft stage.
Talk about it.
I actually got hope because I thought that Hey Big Head from Phil definitely went. Excuse me. Let me say his name.
Yeah, you got Danot passing out with the Hey Big Head.
let me say Phil's real name.
Oh,
Phil
Lord.
Dominus Maximus. when
King, someone for you. King, someone for you in the super chat.
Oh my! He said, "Read this color, King." Kojima is making what he personally experiences.
I'm done.
To pee and grow mushrooms show he was on making this game. Facts. Oh, wow.
You not onto something though?
Okay, and you know you might be onto something with this right here. You know, I'm gonna say, hey, maybe he was on something because all the wacky information that we do get from this game is definitely far out there. And again, this is the last time I'm gonna.
And you got to keep in mind this game's coming out in like 2 months. Like,
yeah, and then he just unveiled the peeing. I mean, it wasn't enough to talk about. This is definitely.
I'll bet everybody $5. The opening scene is you getting peed on.
Wow! And
that's my God.
You know what? That's actually plausible. I'm not taking that.
I think Dano's into something there.
That's me calling Microsoft and getting my money back.
You're not calling Microsoft. It's a Sony exclusive.
Oh, definitely I'm not playing.
No, but you should still call Microsoft and be like, yo, give me my money back.
Give me my money back.
Wait a second. I think that game is coming out for Microsoft in the next like 6 to 7 months. It will be announced. I just said it here. Trust me. Microsoft will put that game out. Shout out to Phil Dominus, Maximus Spencer.
Let's hope that he doesn't. The longer he stays with Microsoft, the longer that name's gonna get.
Is he a husband of a murdered wife and a father of a murdered son?
Oh, he talking that Spartacus. He's talking that Spartacus talk.
Gladiator talk, sir.
Gladiator. Yes.
I love this guy.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, he's getting all the references.
No doubt.
Okay. Oh yeah, that what I saw, but. To shut up a lot of you people that were out here with the burning houses and screaming, help, the sky is falling, and Chicken Littles. You finally got the chance to see Gears of War single player. And everything I heard from it is, oh, it's fantastic. It's mind-blowing. It's Microsoft is working. What happened to that before that, though?
Oh, keep the same energy?
With all that, they're hiding something. I think something is up there.
That sounds like a shot for a specific Lord of the Realm.
What's up? Like, y'all said that y'all not part of the PR team. Let the PR team do their thing. Let them get their rollout on. You're sitting here making them, I want to see this now. No, I'm tired of your nows. What you want now. We don't care about what you want. You know what the company wants. So the company wants to roll it out. They want to show you this part first. Then they're going to get to that part. Then they're going to give you the meat and potatoes of it. So you got the meat and potatoes. How the hell do you feel now?
Right. So basically, keep the same energy now that it looked good and the campaign was on fire and it was shown.
Yo, and if you're playing this game and you don't have Game Pass, you are a fool.
Anyway, I'll move on and we wrap this up. Yeah, man. Listen, man, you guys are on it. I mean, for me, actually, Inside Xbox was solid. I was actually, the cringy humor sometimes gets on my nerves. But as far as the show itself, what they showed, I like what I saw, the Blair Witch joint, PUBG cross-platform. That was interesting to me. I want to shout out Jess Gordon from Windows Central. When he came on IOP, he was talking about a game, Empire of Sin. And I got my eye on that, man. It's giving me the XCOM RTS vibes, but also like
that's one thing. I was really upset. I don't know why I expected it. I kind of shouldn't have expected it.
What's that?
But I just want XCOM announcements. I don't care where they come at this point. I don't care if it's Gamescom. Like, I just want an XCOM announcement.
Listen, I'll be waiting for it too, man. I'm waiting for it to. You know how we XCOM has. But yeah, for me, it's like that Empire Sin, like that mob Chicago Prohibition area. It kind of gives me solve like Broadwalk Empire vibes. Yeah, like it's just cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it showed real good there. I was liking that. Like King said, it was really good symbolically to see Bungie at Microsoft stage, because we know the history, we know the deal with Activision and all that stuff that prevented the exclusive. So to see, like, them come home, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, it was kind of cool.
Home.
Yeah, man, it was kind of cool. Shout out to Dizzy with the $2 super chat. Oh, Lord, being petty. Keep Major Nelson off Inside Xbox. Oh, my God. You didn't want to see the white gloves?
I met that dude once. He's a character.
Yes, he is.
Character for sure.
I actually love Major Nelson.
No, he's great.
He doesn't have a long name either. Is it just Phil that gets the name?
As I respect Major Nelson's Major Nelson. You know, it just speaks to you, Major Nelson. So every time he sees me, I don't care where he is. He was up. We were online on the queue going inside Microsoft Hall. He's up there. I don't know who he was with. It was probably some exec or whatever. And he looks down and he yells down, "What's up, Bronx?"
Yeah, he always shouts you out.
So I'm like, man, I love this guy. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, he shouts me out. Yeah. So if anybody sits there and say, "Oh, Major Nelson is phony," not to me.
You're not gonna have that Major Nelson slander going on. No doubt.
He's a genuinely nice dude.
Yeah,
I like him.
No, it is what it is. So yeah, I really like the show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that joint. What else? It was the obviously the Gears, like King said, campaign being shown, the Horde being shown. You know what I'm saying? Still don't agree, King. They should have showed it at E3. They still should have showed a little bit, but I'm happy now. You know,
E3's the redheaded stepchild now.
Yeah.
How about that Gamescom?
You know what's fun? I'm glad you said that, Dano.
You got that from me, Cognito?
What you mean?
You got my level of shade that I threw at you?
Yeah, I saw the shade. I ignored it, though. But what I was going to say is shout out to Dano because I agree. I was just about to say that. Like, the thing I noticed, like, I'm not used to Gamescom having this level of spectacle. You know what I'm saying? You got, this guy, Keegley there. A lot
of the times you don't even know it's Gamescom, but this year you knew Gamescom was going on.
Yeah, man. It definitely felt huge. It felt epic. It felt like how E3 is supposed to feel. And I'm very curious moving forward, you know what I'm saying? Because how this thing is going to go, because we all know what happened with E3 and, the leaks and, and all that kind of stuff.
Like no E3, man.
Yeah, true. But
it felt better than it normally is. It felt like a PC movie that's good.
Nah, but they never had the red carpet, like the on live, like the Gamescom. What is it? The live premiere show or whatever that thing was. That was kind of lit, man.
That felt very premium.
I felt like VGA. It felt like it was going on. Yeah. So that was that.
It felt so VGA that it was streamed off the VGA channel.
No, it was good. I'm hype about that. We're gonna see what Xbox has for London. It looks like they're gearing up for something big with Exo London. I'm curious about that. And then the last thing
Matt Booty's gonna be there, so it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Matt Booty and Phil Spencer are there.
Exactly. The last thing I want to mention that King's gonna love. Phil Luminous, man. He was out there with that Stadia. Stadia was in the building, y'all.
I think Stadia, they stumbled, man. They stumbled.
All right, hold on. So we're gonna have a civil war right now. Let's go.
I'm feeling the fact the Cyberpunk announcement was that's great.
Mortal Kombat.
I don't think they didn't do enough to sell people on this yet.
Oh no, I agree. This is not for
How much are the games, Cog?
Full price.
Right. So all right. So you got full price for no ownership on anything, right, Cog? Right?
Yes, correct.
And it's streaming. Okay. It's streaming.
You're paying full price to stream something, right? What if they service is just down?
I know.
Facts. Oh, okay. I just want to know what their model is. Who is this for?
This is for the guy, I guess, who wants that 4K 60 experience, who's not at home, who may have a potato rig. He's at his friend's house. So he wants to move it around. Not everybody has a 2080
Wait, you said 1460?
Huh?
You think they can achieve that?
Oh no, they said that. That's what's going on here.
But that's what they said though.
No. Actually, shout out to my man Destin Legary, who was behind the scenes, who got a chance to play Doom. And, you know what I'm saying? All these games. And no, straight up, you can put the front right. You can put it all you want. You can put it all you want.
This is just
it's my man.
This is why I feel like someone else needs a fraud alert because he'd be using it on us, but never himself. Rarely does he use it on himself.
It is, Cog. Where is your pre-order?
I don't need to pre-order yet.
I can wait.
You don't want the baby blue? You know what? I can wait until it gets into the real world. I don't need to jump out the window just yet. It's not November.
You're doing
what King wants you to do. What King wants to do is jump out the plane before the plane lands.
I'm not jumping out the window. I can wait. It's not November yet. So anyway, like I was saying,
let's get it.
He was very impressed with what he played. He could not believe it. He's been the biggest Stadia detractor, and it was in the Gamescom environment, all the wireless interference you could possibly muster, and it was pretty seamless, is what he said. And to be honest, this is the shocker. We all played xCloud, obviously, you know what I'm saying, previously before in E3, environment, server 400 miles away, whatever. His words were, the Stadia experience at this point was smoother and better than xCloud. These were his exact words, and he's the biggest Stadia detractor.
How you feel about that, King?
So I want to know more about it. I'm curious about the tech.
How I feel. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a pre-order as well.
Oh my God!
But I can tell you, I got rid of my pre-order. Sovereign, do you still have a pre-order, sir?
I don't, but I think I don't want to not be in the conversation, so I'll get it back. But the pre-orders have not.
You know how I know that. You know how I know that Stadia is actually doing something. I was at a fast. I think it was. I was at McDonald's yesterday, and one of my friends, he's the manager there, and I was talking to him. He's like, I just pre-ordered Stadia. I was like, man, here in a couple months, we're gonna have to have that conversation about how you played yourself. He's like, oh no. He's like, it looks good. He's a big Destiny dude. He did it because Destiny.
This is what I'm saying. That's going to be
another. To find out when you get your Stadia and it goes by your connection and you only got the Vaseline screen. Nobody out here doing no 4K. I just want to know when the 4K hit. For all you guys out here talking this 4K 60 crap with no 4K televisions, I want to hear it when it happens. So listen, talk that 1080p talk that you've been talking.
Listen, a lot of people.
Stuff. You can talk it, but a lot of people can't.
No, I agree. This is not for everybody. Listen, the tech in me just wants to see it in real world scenarios. I want to do the cross play with Destiny to see how that functionality works.
It's just you gotta pre-order it though to have it though.
Oh, nah, not necessarily. I can wait. I don't need to pre-order. Why are you trying to force me?
Did they confirm cross-play with consoles and regular PC?
They are saying, yes, they are saying cross-save. Excuse me, cross-save, not cross-play. Okay. Cross-save with console. So I am waiting. We'll see what happens. But that's all I got on Gamescom.
Don't bring that fraud stuff here, please, sir.
Listen, man, they might be on to something.
Oh God! Oh God!
Look, look! I have to speak up for King. I don't like what you just did there.
Lord Solve, you and Danotage, you got a lot to talk about this. You've got some access on Control, man.
Yeah,
let's get it.
So I've had Control since Monday. I think the review embargo is actually up the day of
Dreamcast
launch.
guys put one up right now.
Well, Dreamcast guy put one up, so I'm assuming he got a Mr. Lee special as well because the game. The embargo is not.
No, he got that Remedy.
Oh, he did.
He got that 505 game special.
So no big.
Yeah, there's an NDA.
Yeah,
if you have the NDA, then you can. Today. It was today, like 3 hours ago.
Okay, because no big sites have put up reviews yet, which is weird. Okay.
So good. Why don't you get up on that review?
I'm not done yet. If I had given the game to you, you would have been finished with it. But you know me, I'm a little.
Well, it's up to chapter 4. It's not the full game.
Okay. So so I've had it since Monday. If you are a fan of Remedy games, this is a Remedy game through and through. It is a third-person, narrative-driven action game.
The mechanics are super smooth.
The mechanics are amazing. I think the telekinetic powers, like as you've seen in the trailers and whatnot, are very cool. I haven't gotten all the powers yet. I only have about 4 right now at my disposal, but they're very cool. They all have actual uses in combat. Some of them, they're not throwaways. Especially as you start going up against more groups of enemies, stronger enemies, you're going to need to utilize all your different aspects of your arsenal. But the game it's kind of different than like a Quantum Break, or in that it's sort of like less narratively driven. The game is Quantum Break, obviously, with like the TV show attached to it and the way the story came out, it was kind of more linear. In this game, the gameplay is linear, but the context, the side context that they always do in Remedy games, like with all the collectibles and stuff, give you more overall context as to the story. And I think it's a lot more discoverable than Quantum Break. In Quantum Break, you can kind of run by this stuff and not even pay attention to it. This, because of the way the game is set up, it feels like you're always going to run into this stuff and you're going to get this context, right? So all I can say about the game right now in terms of story, I think it is crazy. It is nuts, but it's not throw baby nuts.
That sentence will be used later.
It's not.
You know what?
baby nuts.
I got to hand it off to you there, Saul. Like, you're on to something. That's a great analogy. I'm gonna start using that from now on. Every time someone acts like full around about, like, okay, you can be crazy, just not baby throat nuts. Like,
wow. Pause. That's pause worthy.
Yeah, you switched the words there, bro.
Yeah, that's pause worthy.
There's a lot of pause in that. You gotta really stop with that. And I'm not gonna say it. So oh boy.
Continue.
But in terms of the story, so basically, a quick overview, not spoiling anything. The story revolves around Jesse Faden, who basically this world is subject to like what they call paranatural like occurrences, like occurrences that basically kind of indicate that there is a world beyond our world, kind of like a parallel universe or even a supernatural universe, but it has a very sci-fi tinge to it. So it could be supernatural, it could be but they sort of try to ground it in science. So basically she is drawn to this place, trying to find clues as to what happened to her brother a long time ago, because they experienced one of these sort of paranatural events when they were young, and her brother was taken away by this organization called the Federal Bureau of Control. Basically, it is a Men in Black sort of organization that is basically exists to sort of study and analyze and control these paranatural occurrences.
Shizno Elite's mad at you.
Stop spoiling it.
No, but this is something that's gonna happen right in the beginning. Like, you're not gonna. So basically, she makes her way to this bureau and realizes that things have gone left. And basically, the story is her figuring out what's going on and trying to figure out what happened to her brother. So that's the extent of the story. In terms of the action, like Danotage says, like, I think.
What happens, King? What happened?
Oh God. I just don't. I see. Normally, I don't look at the chat because unless I see color. But see, I saw a color right there, right? And it was laughing my butt off, right? And then I just looked up a little bit. He's like, "Stop spoiling it!"
Yeah, they going in on him. And then Sig told him to leave.
I had someone a couple weeks ago saying, I was talking about Halo 5. They're like, stop spoiling. I'm like, look, if you ain't played Halo 5 by now, that's not my problem.
No, that's you can say whatever you want about it.
My question is this, right? Being that I felt that the Quantum Break had the Vaseline edition on the regular Xbox that was before the X came out. What does it look like? How's the resolution? What's the frame rate? What's going on here? What talk to me?
So frame rate is 30, resolution is 4K. No HDR support.
Are you playing on the X, sir? Correct?
On the X, yeah, no HDR support. So if you have a juiced up rig, you have an RTX card, I would suggest playing it on that, because you're gonna get all that nice RTX goodness and all that, all those extra effects and whatnot. It looks good on the X.
Ray tracing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Slow Mo. He said he pre-ordered on PS4 because I guess there's missing content. He ain't about that missing content life. What exclusive do they have? Do you know?
I don't know. Honestly, I got it on the X, so I don't know what specific. It might be a mission or two or something like that. Or something. I know there's specific pre-order content for whatever version you get.
Slow-Mo was going to get that on PlayStation regardless if they had that or not.
Yeah, I don't know they was going to get it on X.
No, didn't Sony secure the something like
exclusivity?
Yes,
yeah, like the marketing
deal.
right?
The marketing.
They had a marketing deal with it. And they got like an extra board or something like that, or power or something like that.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
So so in terms of the story, that's all I'm going to say about the story. In terms of the powers, like Danotage says, the powers are all very cool. They're all sort of telekinetic powers, where you can levitate things and throw them at people. You can also what the heck else you can do? You can speed up. You can sort of levitate. You can grab stuff from the environment and use it as a shield. You can control enemies at some point. You can once you damage them to a certain point, you can control them. Also, once you damage them to a certain point, you can grab them and actually chuck them at other enemies as well. the gunplay too. I always had an issue with the gunplay in Quantum Break. I didn't think it was as tight as other Remedy games. I think the gunplay is absolutely great in this. And the fact that there's cooldowns on both the powers and the gunplay means that you have to go back and forth between both of them.
Oh, so you can't like spam, like you can't spam out the powers and stuff.
So you want to be.
It's also.
Good, Dano.
It's also one gun, right? It's one gun that morphs into others, so you don't have to worry about like picking up other guns and picking up ammo and stuff like that. It's one. It's like part of your powers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the gun.
You're playing it too right now as well, right, Dan?
No, I haven't played it since Guardian Con, but I've been looking at it and been talking to my guys about it. And it reminds me a lot of, if you've ever played an old game called there's like a PlayStation 1 or 2 game called Psyops.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly like that, but an updated version of it. And I'll tell you right now, I had a lot of fun with Control, and I almost fell asleep to what's the other Remedy game we were just talking about?
Oh, Quantum Break.
I can't remember the name.
Slander.
I almost fell asleep to that game, but I love Control.
You don't need NyQuil, just buy Quantum Break. It's
more
expensive.
Disrespect.
I thought full disclosure, I thought Quantum Break was really good, and what they were doing with the characters, because remember, that's when Microsoft.
Why don't you name me the main character from Quantum Break?
Oh, but I can tell you where he's from, though. I can tell you that. I can tell you, Mr.
It's Iceman from X-Men.
It's Iceman, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So you know that studio was open for that game, right? And they had to use them in that area, and it was a different direction for a different company. You can see the change from that to this. So I really want to know, because I really like Quantum Break as far as the gameplay and the fun goes. But I thought it was bogged down with the story. Like, Dan said, it did put you to sleep at times.
I should say it's just not my style of game. I just don't like that stuff.
No, I agree.
I think it was messed up with the TV series thing.
Yeah,
I think it was that, and I think it was horribly paced.
Listen, let's be real. That game got changed from some type of game that was supposed to work in tandem with a television show, and then it was just so many things that was during the Dan Matrick era. It was so many metamorphoses of that game. I think that affected the final product. That's just my opinion.
And it goes back to what
an MMO that did the same thing with the TV show?
Yes. What was that name? Yes.
MMO?
Terrarata?
No, it was an I know what you're talking about. It was a show that was supposed to be in conjunction with it.
They released like content based on the episodes that were coming out. Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name. I can visualize it in my head, but I can't remember the name.
And they said the show was actually kind of good.
Defiance.
I was actually, because I actually played that on the 360, and I was trying to remember what it was called.
Yes.
I think they canceled that show.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't do well. So I was wondering, when Quantum Break came out and they started talking about it, I was like, why are they doing this? It didn't work.
I just think at that time,
that was the TV era. That was the TV.
Focus was to try to integrate everything into one.
Yes.
And it just didn't work out well. Like, I'm not even blaming. I'm blaming like 50-50 on that. That's 50% Microsoft and Remedy's fault, because Remedy should have pushed back more.
I'm putting the blame solely on Sony with that nice show that they because, all right, so if you see the show Powers that was on,
that's an amazing show.
Yeah, it was a very good show, right? So you had, somebody sitting in the Microsoft Execs room, and they put that game up, and they're like, that show up, and they're like, yo, could you imagine if we have these dudes with our studio? We can definitely top Sony. And Sony was at a point where, I like Powers. I thought Powers was real.
I gotta really give King props, man. He's the only dude I know that could turn everything into Sony's fault. I gotta respect that, man. That takes skill. That skill I can never have in my life.
Look, man.
So that was nice.
They need to get Kojima to do a TV show.
Oh my lord!
No.
Oh my
Just
lord.
kidding. All right, we'll move on.
Moving on. So, Saul, man, let me, I know you guys getting into it with the Control thing. I just wanted to ask, so I played it behind the scene at E3. What was it? Not this year, but the year before, when 505 was showing it. And, it definitely had the vibes, but it definitely had its own thing. But now, shout out to Dreamcast guy. He just put a review up. He is really praising this thing, man. He is like 9.5. He is just like, this is the essence type stuff. So, in your opinion, like, do they got one? Is this the sleeper hit?
Based on what I've seen of the story so far and the powers that I've gotten so far and the way everything works together, I think it's very good. I want to see how it all comes together. Obviously, I guess he's finished it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's asking.
So that remains to be seen. But like I said, it's definitely a Remedy game, and I think the issues you guys have with Quantum Break are the same ones I have about the pacing and how the TV show threw it all off. In this game, it's a much less cinematic game than Quantum Break. So what happens is that you're sort of forced as you go through the game, you're gonna see all these collectibles that actually pertain to the overall story.
I hate games like that.
Yeah, I know, because you don't collect anything. You don't.
Yeah, he don't like collecting.
I don't.
Yeah, he just want to finish the game.
Look, if you want me to collect stuff, first off, you gotta make an audio version because I ain't reading nothing.
Oh my Lord, that's the problem with the youth today.
Look, like you know who did it really well, man.
You see, Dano, that's why your strategy guys went out, because these kids, they don't read. That's the problem, funny, Dano.
I actually said that I bought the strategy.
Yeah, then he just said he don't read.
But he didn't read them.
I rather go on YouTube
pictures.
and find someone.
Get him, Dano!
On YouTube and find someone that's gonna visually show me what they're talking about, then read something 15 times.
Trust me. You know how many people asked me if my Twitch book was an audiobook, and then when I said no, they're like, "Oh, I guess I'm not reading that."
I low-key,
that's the addict era.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? When you said it was on Amazon, I almost asked you, "Was there an audio version?"
Oh my God. Listen, Dan, just do an audio book for it. Just let's please these little masses so they can actually.
Next
you gotta get King to do the audio version, right?
Oh, man, hold on. Yo, Solve, get that super chat, sir.
Shout out to Restored Hades with the $10 super chat. Quantum Break, they did take a lot of risk and they did try to do something new, and I always appreciate that. Sometimes it doesn't always hit, but I still think that Quantum Break was a great game. I think.
Okay, I don't think you're onto something, but I respect the statement.
Yeah, parts of Quantum Break I thought was cool. I think the whole story arc with the girl that gets caught time was fantastic.
I felt like if Quantum Break was just like, if it was developed like a normal game from start to finish, it would have been a great game.
Yeah,
it would have been called Control, sir. It would be called Control. And also,
I haven't played Control, but I played. I couldn't even finish Quantum Break, dude, because it was just that bad. Like
I feel you, but this is what you do, right? You go buy Control right now, because this is what happens when you take absolutely all the funding for the cinemas out and you let Sony produce the game out. Go ahead, there you go. You got Control, there you go.
Now, my issues with the game so far, maybe this will be rectified in a day one patch. Every time you come out of a pause, it does a nice little stutter step every time you come out of a pause. But it cleans up and then it runs fine. Also, when you're in a big combat scenario where you're using a lot of powers and you're facing multiple enemies, it starts to stutter.
That's what happens when you're not with the Microsoft funding.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it!
When the back end ain't got your
stop it! We're not gonna let that rhetoric grow. Continue.
It's Sony's fault, right?
It's Sony's fault. It's Sony's fault that stuttering. Yeah.
So are you saying it was made on a PlayStation Pro dev kit and that's what's going on here?
It was the least common denominator.
Oh my God! Y'all gotta stop this slander.
I'm gonna tell you, the lead platform was a Sony platform. And hey, it might be a situation where that might be the case.
I'm done.
Look, you know what, King? You might be on to something.
But I really want to see. Yeah, I really want to see how people react to this game. Like I said, it's weird, but it's not over the top weird. It's definitely understandable. Yeah. I think the story that they've crafted is very good. I think Remedy's always been good at crafting worlds that adhere to specific rules according to the story they're trying to tell. I think they've done that again with this. Right. I just don't. I want. They're capable. Their games don't ever scream like Uncharted, Last of Us, AAA quality. Okay. It always feels like it's a little.
Is it a rental solve or is it a own?
Because of the single player.
King's like, just tell me what you think.
If you're not a fan of these games, if you're not a fan of these games and you're gonna play through this once, maybe twice. That's it. Like,
okay.
You can the powers you pick, you can focus on certain powers and not necessarily focus on other ones. So you can kind of play around with your skill tree in that regard, where a second playthrough might be different.
Right.
But it's not that varying where you'd be like it's going to be like a totally different game.
So you heard it here first, guys. Simon definitely just said you the starter gate that's going on right now. We're gonna have the red box.
I purchased it.
Solve just said. All right, no, it's confirmed. Solve just said this is a Game Pass game. Continue.
No.
The red box special.
Y'all savage. Anyway,
everybody who's excited for it should still be excited for it. I think what they've done.
Now he's trying to backtrack.
Let him finish.
I think what they've done and the improvements they made over Quantum Break and everything else they've come out with, obviously Max Payne and things of that nature. I think this is the next evolution of Remedy, and I'm enjoying it.
All right. Well, we got it here first.
That's
Exclusive.
a lot of damage control.
It's ridiculous. The exclusive behind the scene Mr. Lee edition preview from Saab. Thank you, sir.
Shout out to Foz. He said shout out to Saab. He's still trying to get over that back scratching game.
Shout out to that. We gonna move on, man. We got 2 topics we gotta roll. All right, so actually, I'm up. So Xbox Game Studios, man, there's a lot going on right now, and Microsoft jumped in front of the headlines at Gamescom, and basically it started with Aaron Greenberg and our friend to the realm, and pretty much he said that somebody caught up with him. They pretty much said, going forward, all of our internal studios and the new studios we've added will be focused on making games for our platforms, and I quote, "We have no plans to expand our exclusive first-party games to any other console." So this was a huge statement kind of at the early of the week. A lot of the Xbox community rallied behind it because a lot of the concern was, obviously we've seen Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch. We've seen, Cuphead, and people were concerned. They were like, obviously Outer Worlds, we know about being on the Switch as well. Like, people were concerned, are these studios truly exclusive to Xbox, and then, so that was early in the week. And then later in the week, we had some statements from Microsoft's Ben Decker and Matt Percy from Microsoft about the future of Game Pass. And then they said, about the subscription model, we would like to see Game Pass on all platforms. Ultimately, and I think that this is a long-term goal. So we don't have any specific plans today, but we love to see Game Pass really go everywhere. So I want to bring this to the Lords. I want to shout out Lord Rand Outdoor. Lord Jed's Gunny had a great discussion on this on the Xbox 2 in reference to Microsoft messaging. On one hand, we hear the games are not going anywhere. They will remain on Xbox. On the other hand, we hear Game Pass, our goal is to go everywhere. What's going on? So I want to bring this to Lord Danotage. First, what do you think about this?
Yeah, we got to get everyone before King because he's going to take the
King
rest
gonna
of the
go
show.
in. Yeah, King gonna go in.
So we got to get. I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that even mean? Like, so yeah, you have. I mean, it sounds like Microsoft to me. You have people talking to each other. You have. I mean,
someone lost the memo. They didn't open the letter.
Well, here's the thing. Microsoft's great, right? They've created great things. They created the worst OS in the entire universe, but everybody has to use it because they have patented DirectX. The point is, they're the slowest moving tech company in the entire world. Yet they still come out with great stuff, which is why we keep forgiving them. But this is just, it's communication error. I don't know what they probably mean the same thing, but they're not communicating that properly. I think they mean, because I think what they mean by all their platforms, expanding out to all their platforms, is just saying Xbox and PC, which is why I like the Game Pass, because I can get Game Pass without even ever turning on my Xbox and still being able to play all these games for free. But I kind of think that's what they mean, because not only you have Xbox, you have Xbox One X, you've got PC, and then you have whatever Scarlet's going to be.
Right.
So that might be what they're talking about when they're talking about that. I don't think they're necessarily hinting or talking about the Switch or talking about the PlayStation, because internally, I'm sure that they don't mention Sony at all. They don't mention Nintendo at all. They don't. Those words don't even come out of their lips because they don't really. It's not part of their conversation. So. I don't think that's what the second person really meant.
So let me ask you this, like that, before I move on. Because a lot of points of contention that Xbox fans have, and even Sony fans will say, is that, look, these games are not exclusive. Why is, Cuphead going on Switch? Why is Ori going on Switch? Now again, Greenberg did jump in front of it and he said, look, they are respecting existing deals, prior to these guys' acquisition, right? So do you think it's strictly that? Or do you think at some point they truly envision a world where they want Game Pass on all these platforms?
Yeah, I think it is that. I think Microsoft, because they own Windows, they can get away publicly and through their PR channels. They could get away with being 100% exclusive because if you look at who's complaining about what, there's actually, especially in these days, maybe back in like PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One releases, there was a lot of talk about, oh, this game's exclusive to this console, this game's exclusive to this console. But now that like PCs are becoming more and more affordable and gaming PCs are more and more affordable, staying exclusive to both Xbox and PC and then Scarlet, those three, and keeping them there, they can get away with that without getting too much flack and being totally okay with it.
Gotcha.
I really do think that they want to live in a world where everything is exclusive to them.
Fair enough. Lord Petey, we got to get you in, man. What do you think about these statements? Is bad messaging, or what you believe is going to happen?
It's actually, when I heard you give us this topic, I actually I wrote a little thing down, and literally Danot said exactly what literally, it's when they're talking about platforms. I mean, I think they're talking about like what he was saying, going to Xbox, going to PC, going to all of those. It just makes logical sense for them. PlayStation, like they do the same thing. They have their exclusive games, but they only have one platform. So for Xbox to say like what they said, it means all of their stuff, which and if I do recall, aren't they putting Game Pass on Switch too? Didn't they talk about
well,
that
there
also?
were early rumors that there may be something working with Nintendo, but then they kind of backtrack. So for whatever reason, nothing is finalized and nothing's official.
Right. So which means I think that they're going to put stuff in Game Pass, and they're going to probably start putting stuff, on other platforms, in quotes, through that means and method, so that people have to start playing it that way. But I think that from what I've read, they have their 12 gaming studios, which is exclusive to them. They have 14 games, which I think are coming out within the next year or two. And like you were saying, the existing deals that they have on some of those games are going to be staying. But I don't see why they're going to keep themselves 100% exclusive unless they have some weird method of doing it and getting it out. And I think that they're going to use Game Pass to do it. And I think that's what they're going to do to put it onto other platforms and force people to buy Game Pass, because that is where I think that they're making their money. That's what they're doing with their services. So if they force that method, then it makes logical sense. That makes smart.
No doubt. Lord Addict, I know you're getting ready to leave soon, so we're going to get you in. What do you feel about this, man? Is it bad messaging? Is Microsoft lying? What's going on, man?
I feel like it's just one of those things where, in that particular department, I don't know if there's a PR person around. Aaron Greenberg does nothing but relations.
Right.
So he's really good at PR. I don't think that they misspoke, because I do think eventually, they wanted to go on an app form,
right?
But that's like maybe 5-10 years down the road. I don't think they misspoke, but I do think that when you need to clarify something, they should have made a statement or something by now to correct this, because it was trending and everything.
Yeah,
like especially because all it looks, it makes you look like you're incompetent.
Yes.
Which they could be speaking the same language, but someone, it's kind of like how English is so weird in different forms around the world. Like, certain people say certain phrases differently, but they're saying the exact same thing, but in different ways.
Right.
So people would, and then you have a third party that doesn't know the language on both sides. So they're seeing it two different ways.
Fair enough. Okay, good.
So, it just, they really need to sit everyone down in that PR department, in that marketing department. And they're like, they need to really have that conversation. What are we talking about? What do we say to people? Because apparently this is the first time this has happened.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, man. It's definitely something that probably needs to be resolved internally, so they on the same page. Lord Sov, what do you feel, man? Confusion? What you believe?
I mean, I agree with Addict. I mean, they really need to say, and I don't believe that they don't have these conversations. That's the weird thing. I believe these conversations happen. It's just for whatever reason, when you're out there, you're being asked questions on the spot. I think Phil is really good at not answering questions while answering a question. Like, I don't know that Aaron's always been the type of dude that sort of like he's in the moment. I know he's a marketing guy. Obviously, this is his job day in and day out. But it just does seem like, for whatever reason, I can't believe that communication isn't happening. It's just that for whatever
it's happening. It's just not with these people,
right?
Like, they're talking to their bosses. Like, I really think that they're letting the people that don't have that experience talking like that in a mass form like that talk the most.
What the crazy thing is, okay, we look at a Matt Booty. Matt Booty comes out and says it's going to be on a game by game basis. Okay, he comes out and says that, like. So
yeah, he's one of the people that
which is the issue. What is happening that we don't see these issues with Sony, right? We don't see these other companies. There seems to be a unified front for the most part with whatever they're trying to message. But why with Microsoft, it seems to be one hand is saying one thing. It's like, is there a communication issue internally?
Maybe, like, let's be honest here. Maybe it's that Microsoft don't know what they want to do in the future, and they keep changing stuff up on people. And
I agree with that. I totally agree that they, depending on the success of Xbox as a platform going into next gen, I think the narrative changes, and they'll lean more into console if the console's successful, and they'll lean more and more into services if the services are what's more successful, or if the console is begins to fail. So I think they leave that door open for themselves.
So then it's a fluid situation, is what you're saying.
It's a fluid situation that they got out in front of, because at this point they don't want it to seem like a fluid situation. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if things go left, that whole our games aren't going to other platforms is not sticking. That doesn't stick.
All right, Lord King, here we go.
All right. Okay, guys.
All right. I can already tell you I'm probably going to stay for King's whole rant, but I will stay as long as I can.
Here we go. Come off the edge, all right? Because there's an app.
Are you going to throw me a rope?
There's an app. It's called Game Pass. It's on your phone right now, right? Now, this is going to lead you in. All right. So Microsoft already got these guys hooked on the juice. The server is definitely in, right? Okay. Hey, now we know we waiting for xCloud to come out to be able to facilitate these games. And once they link it with Game Pass and you have xCloud, now you have an underpowered system like the Switch that can actually run an Xbox game, right? Whoa, that just happened, right?
Slander.
So. Yeah, no. It's an underpowered system that can't run Xbox games. All right. So, but it can do it if it actually has Game Pass with xCloud enabled on it as an app, right? So we all know internally, y'all saying like it's two things. Shout out to Greeny, first of all, for getting in front of it to put water on the fire.
Right. Which was a great statement. I thought it was phenomenal.
That's his job, to put water on the fire. But in the background, those other two guys heard the speech of world dominance. All right?
What?
So world dominance sat there and said, yo, we want our joint on everything. I want it on a toaster. I want it on a car. And
so they disobeyed Greeny? Is this what
No, it wasn't they disobeyed Greeny. Greeny went out and listen, world dominance is going to happen. It's just not happening right now because these dudes ain't ready yet. And we don't have the xCloud ready. Now, they would ideally love to have Game Pass on PlayStation. Why not? You're talking about money, right? Let's stop with all this. Oh, I don't want Xbox stuff on my stuff, or I want it here. Let's stop right now. It's about this cash and about this bag. So now, if you have the Game Pass on everything, like I saw them playing games inside a car. Greeny just did it like
like the tablet out,
right, and he just plugged his Xbox controller in and boom, he was playing the game. They want that everywhere.
Right.
Are you guys understanding? No, there's no limit. That they were both right. Greeny was saying, calm down. Not right now.
Right.
Calm down. The other guys were remembering the other speech of world domination. So when you get Game Pass on your PlayStation, if it's permissible later when they work the deal, if they work the 60-40 deal or whatever, however the hell they work it, it's going to happen. Game Pass is going to be all over. So everybody on the panel is right when they say Microsoft right now is talking about their level of devices they have control over that they want Game Pass on. Right. That's logical, right? Of course. Do you want them to say, as a company, we do not want to expand? Hell no! Expand. Get yourself over there to that PlayStation. Get yourself over on that Switch. It's not taken away from the fact that you have your box and it plays best here. It can play over
two
there
questions,
as well.
sir. Two questions, sir. So basically, you're saying that he's using flexible language, so no plans right now. Is pretty much
what he's telling you is calm down. It's not going to be on it tomorrow. That's what he's saying. Like, but we don't know what happens Tuesday once xCloud coming out and they actually say, "Yo, bring it over here."
Right.
You know.
All right.
Listen,
so the question I have for you, King, is that the next argument is, if that is the case, and like you said, world domination, then what happens now? Like, what do people say? Like, well, I don't have a reason to buy the Xbox platform anymore because all of their games or services
they don't make money off of the damn systems anyway.
Okay.
So just don't buy the Game Pass on wherever you play it. You play it on PlayStation, buy Game Pass. Guess what you're doing? Giving money to Microsoft. So who cares? Like, they don't really care where you play at as long as you're playing. So if you want to lock yourself into your PlayStation and still buy Game Pass, it doesn't matter. You're still giving Microsoft them dollars. That's what
one thing I think we're not talking about though is Sony has in the past like year and a half alone has a large track record of not wanting to cross with anybody.
Right.
They don't want to work with absolutely anybody. So it's less about Microsoft wanting to expand and more about Sony not wanting to accept that expansion.
And I'm pretty sure that they went over there and they was like, "Yo, how about this Game Pass over here, bro?" And they was like, "No." But you know what happened to Reggie Fils-Aimé?
Oh Lord, here we go to Reggie.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, Reggie went down on his.
Did I start something?
Yes, you did.
Reggie's a stand-up dude.
Oh my Lord! Here's the theory of why Reggie left Lord Danot. Here we go.
And they came over there. They was like, "Yo, we're gonna
for Bowser."
That's right. Bowser was more palatable to what was about. And Reggie said, "Not on my lawn." You know what I'm saying? I'm not cut from this. I'm not cut from this cloth. This is not going on over here. All this intermingling is not happening. And listen, I'm telling you, keep watching the script. When you look down and you hit your PlayStation, you log into your PlayStation, and Game Pass pops up, and it says $14.95.
Oh my God!
For the Ultimate, you'll be part of the Ultimate too, sir. So dominant, Spencer Max.
Reggie was a man of principle and stepped down because he didn't want to accept Game Pass on Nintendo platforms.
You know what's funny? As soon as he stepped down, Cuphead came out.
Oh my God!
And Ori did come out though. That's kind of funny. You are hilarious. Shout out to Restored Hades, $5 super chat. I just think PlayStation would never allow it because they would become a money-making machine for Microsoft. Interesting. Interesting. No, now let me finish up on this joint. Listen, at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying, King. I hear what everyone, the Lords are saying. It's just messaging, man. They got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? To me, this is what lost them the start of the generation. No one knows if they're doing a DRM. Are they doing it? Can you trade games? And then Sony did what Sony did, and we know what the rest is history with the PS4 era. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta be clear. Even if it's world domination, just say it's world domination.
But you want Microsoft to come out right now and say, "Yo, we about to dominate the world."
Yes. So then it's clear.
So then they don't get called liars later.
Exactly, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna say this stuff that no game's coming, right?
On their hands.
Right. And they're gonna say no game's coming, and then later down the road, a game might come. If it comes, this is the statement they're going to point to. You're a liar. You said da-da-da. What happened now? So why not just get in front of it?
I think what it is they want to keep their options open in case they change their mind in the future, so they can't be called out for it. But you said this. No, we had mixed messaging, sure, but we never clarified anything.
But here's the problem. If we are the hardcore, right? Everyone on this panel is a hardcore. We know what's going on in gaming. If we're confused on what's going on and which side they're on. What do you think Lil Timmy or Casual Joe is thinking? He doesn't know.
Why is it always got to be Timmy?
It's always got to be Timmy. But
Casual Joe's a rapper, right?
Yo, you just gave me a crazy visual.
Casual Joe.
Casual Joe the rapper, Little Timmy the little guy.
Oh my God.
At the end of the day,
what was the PR team that we kept making fun of?
I forget now. At the end
Tony
for marketing. So at the end of the day, it's at the end of the that was a classic one. That was Calvin the body seat.
Breaking souls, Calvin.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just want them so that everyone knows what's going on. Because if someone spreads it Reddit like, hey, all the Microsoft games are going to be everywhere, and that ends up not being true, then that rhetoric
I got a
gets
bill
spread.
to pay.
Yes, that's the thing. So that's just my thing on it.
I got a bill to pay.
I'll hold you down. I got you, brother.
Go for it. He said he got a bill.
So we got a $5 super chat from Restored Hades. I just think the PlayStation will never allow it because they would become a money-making machine for Microsoft.
I think your screen just refreshed. And shout out to Hades, you're on to it. He gave it to you twice.
Yeah, he gave it to you twice. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Double the pleasure, double the fun. It's all good. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I just think. Solve like next gen is so critical for them, man. I just want them to get off to the right start. They got Halo Infinite at launch. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep the messaging tight, bro. Let's keep it tight.
Stop doubting Phil. All I hear is a lot of Phil doubt.
This ain't Phil doubt. No. This is marketing messaging doubt.
No, this is just it's there's no hate on any individual person. I think it's legitimately just there's confusion going on, and I think communication is not necessarily clear. Yeah. It's not bad, it's just not clear.
That's all we're saying.
And people are afraid, like literally afraid, because we went into this generation wrong guy at the ship.
I ain't scared of nothing.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it was not this individual leading us into this next forefront for what's coming forward, I would definitely be afraid. But now knowing, and I told people ahead of time, this guy has a control on it. If you have to know how to manage your team. Right. Now, we've said it before, and listen, I'm compromised. I'm going to let you know right now.
Yeah, you're compromised.
Okay?
Yes,
I'm
you're compromised.
My dude is greeny, okay? So I am completely compromised and biased in anything that I will be saying forward.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
Know that the fraud alert is on for me right now, okay? Now, we having a problem with the messaging, right? And everybody wants it to be buttoned down and clean. What Attic is on to is they're being ambiguous with the messaging on purpose, because they're probably having stuff with the ink is still wet, or they're just waiting for a signature to have this here. Go by what Matt Booty said. It's a game-to-game basis, and we'll see if our games fit in that ecosystem. Because a lot of games from Microsoft has made it onto different platforms in different forms. Now you have games that's coming out, and they will respect other prior commitments that they had to other games and studios going forward. Like we know that what game is that's going to be released Outer Worlds? Yeah, going to be released everywhere. Right. All right, and that's a Microsoft company. So you have to understand, it's business. They don't want to come out and tell you it's business, bro. Because everybody wants to feel safe and secure in their purchase.
I get that, but if Booty is saying one thing and then Greenberg said another thing, and then these Percy and this guy said 3 different statements in a span of a week. You mean that they could get in the room and say, "Yo, fam, this is what we doing for this week."
They all said the same thing.
Especially Gamescom. Like, how have you not talked to Gamescom?
They literally said on Tuesday or whatever, Greedy said this. On Thursday, these dudes said this. Like, what is going on?
At this point, if I was Microsoft, I would literally be like, look, unless you PR, you've been trained to PR. Do not talk.
Like, these dudes someone should silence the mic. Shut his mic off. He can't talk. Let these guys talk.
Unplug it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Dan, they actually ran up to him and Tom Holland him right after that. You know how Tom Holland can't be
Tom Holland.
Yo, that's still a sore subject, man.
Hey, It's more so for Sony. But listen, you Tom Holland the situation. PR, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's talking too much.
Yeah.
All right. And Greeny got up there, and what he's trying to say is, yo, Gears ain't going anywhere. He's in a Gears state of mind right now. You understand? Yeah. Gears is the next big game up, and no, it's not going anywhere, bro.
I get
world
it.
Domination.
Hey, world domination. Anyway, we'll move on. We're going crazy late, y'all. We got to get out of there. King, Sony, man. Real quick, when they jump on the Insomniac thing, and we get out of here.
Sony acquired Insomniac, and then Sony Studios just made it a worse purchase.
Ridiculous.
Right now, all right, we know. I always thought Insomniac was actually part of Sony, to be honest with you.
Right.
And when I thought they got out of the deal when they did Sunset Overdrive or something like that, but apparently they would never purchase with Sony. Now Sony went out there and purchased a studio. Microsoft was on a buying spree. Sony is on a buying spree as well. They out here, they're loading their guns. They get ready for generation.
Facts.
And I thought that was a perfect marriage anyway. They made all the great games for Sony anyway. They felt like a first-party studio anyway. When they made Sunset Overdrive, the reason why it didn't sell well over there is because Microsoft isn't used to marketing Insomniac type of games, okay? And it was a great game. Insomniac was still in their perfect form in doing so. They showed you when they hit their stride with Spider-Man. And I thought it was a perfect purchase. Going forward, Sony has one in the chamber, but also, you guys may not know, they make a ton of VR games.
Yes.
And I think they were purchased with that in mind, because next generation, Sony is betting heavy on VR. What do you guys think?
No doubt. Lord Danotage, y'all, what do you feel about the Insomniac acquisition?
Well, I know there's a lot of Insomniac games on the Game Pass, right? Like all the Arkham games and... didn't they do those? No, that was a different game. Never mind. But I think, I was kind of always under that impression is Insomniac very much and Sony have always kind of had a small marriage together because they promoted all their games pretty heavily. Spider-Man was a huge one, but I mean, Insomniac has been doing games like that for a while. I don't know. It seems like a fine buy. It seems like they're going to be doing a lot of things that really isn't much different. Just other than possibly more exclusives for Sony, which is good for them. I think it's a smart buy. It's a safe buy for sure. It's not anything that's going to blow anybody away.
Absolutely. Shout out with Midway Monster with the $5 super chat. Difference is Microsoft had Insomniac with a new IP. Sony had Insomniac with an established Marvel character. Which one's going to sell more?
We're not talking about that.
Midway 7 Monster, you might be on the same.
Lodatic, you want to jump in real quick before you go?
I mean, look. Is it a move by Sony? I would say yes and no. Yes, because this is an established brand that they've worked on to. No, because they're literally making the same games they've been making for them.
Right.
I think Microsoft buying studios like Microsoft buying studios like Ninja Theory, Obsidian. Like I think that's a bigger news because. They weren't making exclusive games.
Right.
So, you're literally taking from another stable and breeding horses to your stable. Sony's really just buying the stable. Like, okay, fine. And I think that's what it was is, as much as I hate to say it, Spider-Man sold well. And they needed to make sure no one could buy that studio.
No doubt, fair enough.
But I think King brought up a great point. Like I went to their website and the first thing you see is Stormland, which is an Oculus Rift big title. It looks beautiful. So I think they want to push VR really hard with that company.
Yeah, fair enough. Lord PD and then Lord Sov, what do you feel about the Insomniac acquisition?
I'll be quick. Sony pretty much was their 14th studio that they bought. So Insomniac, from their big titles that I can remember, like Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, stuff like that. I mean, those weren't they over there anyway on PlayStation?
Yeah, they pretty much had that relationship. It was just kind of like, I don't want to commit. Literally, I don't want to commit just yet.
Right. I would say the biggest thing that they have for buying this is it's going to be a huge jab when Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, you stole my point. That's what I was about to get. You stole my point.
Microsoft owns the rights.
They own the publishing rights to the first one. They don't own the game.
I think it's a bigger hit than Nintendo because of all the re-releases from Insomniac.
Yeah, no doubt. Lord Sov.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it makes the most sense. They've been essentially married to them for the longest time. They've had the biggest success with them. But I do think when Sunset Overdrive, but I think Insomniac has always liked their independence. But I think they've always been open to that conversation. And I think if there had been a different Microsoft, a different sort of thinking at Microsoft when Sunset Overdrive came out on the Xbox, they might have missed out on the opportunity to perhaps show them that they cared about that IP. They really wanted to grow that and nurture that, and they might have had an opportunity to pick them up back then.
Do you think
opportunity? But it fits.
If something changed and they could have bought them, but they chose not to, like the BioWare, you think the landscape would be different if Spider-Man never came out?
It's interesting.
No, I don't think the landscape would be different. I mean, Sony's success, regardless of Spider-Man, I mean, it's still up in the stratosphere. But I think
Insomniac's always been successful.
They've always been successful, but I think we would have seen either another new IP from them on Xbox or the sequel to Sunset Overdrive, right?
Right.
So yeah, it would have looked a little bit different. I don't think it affects Sony's success at all, and I don't think it really affects Microsoft's success. Apart from the fact that they would have had another team that could give you a solid single player narrative action experience.
You think they did it just to like prevent them from like selling like another type of Spider-Man game to Microsoft? So it's just like a straight up, hey, we're doing this to protect us.
But we got to admit the success of Spider-Man had to influence a little bit of that decision.
You know what would have been crazy?
Well, it definitely influenced on the purchase price. That's for sure.
You know what I was saying? I was saying on Twitter, I was like, you know what would have been crazy? This would never happen, but this scenario would be hilarious. That this Marvel thing, let's say Marvel gets real petty over this stuff and they pull the rights to Spider-Man 2 and they give that to Microsoft, and Microsoft makes Spider-Man 2 and they make Sunset Overdrive 2 despite Microsoft. Before you know it, the launch title for the next gen is Sunset Overdrive 2 on PlayStation, Spider-Man 2 on Xbox.
That would be hilarious.
Another move that could happen is kind of quote unquote spite Microsoft. I could see a Remedy purchase on PlayStation. I could see it. I said,
well, they should get purchased over there because when we had them, they didn't do what, you know.
We never had them. We had the same relationship that Insomniac had with Sony, right?
Right.
And once again, they showed they didn't nurture them. Right. They didn't say, you know what, we believe in this so much, we want to bring you into the fold.
Right. Well, the success. I mean, the financial sales of the game also probably dictated to that a little bit.
Right. Considerably. But I would say this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have Restored Hades again. Okay. Shout out to Restored Hades with $10 super chat. I think that Sony finally bought Insomniac because they were afraid that with Google and Microsoft out here buying studios, I think they were just afraid of someone else would get them first. And that is absolutely true. I mean, Microsoft's been on a purchasing spree. Google obviously has the wallet out as well. You know, if the money's right, I mean, I think Insomniac has always been one of the bigger independent studios and most successful. So I don't feel that they're the type of studio that's one game away from shutting the doors. You know, one bad game away from getting the door shut on them. But you know, when somebody drops the bag in front of you and it's a pretty big bag, and you know that you're not going to be worrying about where the money for your next game.
Well, I got one thing to say before I take off.
What's up?
It's like I said, you know, a lot of people like keep saying stuff like, oh, you know, this studio is not looking to sell, that studio's not looking to sell. This shows, and Playground has shown that every studio will sell they games, they whole company. If you give the right bag,
the right bag.
Everybody has a price.
Everyone, $1 million man, remember? Everyone has a price. No doubt. Lord King.
I gotta go, you guys. But
later,
I appreciate everyone coming on. And Dano, it was a pleasure to meet you. And I gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, later.
King, you want to wrap up? Then I'll close out.
Yeah, it's just the fact that, you know, it was a good purchase all the way through. It's well thought out. I believe the VR played a bigger role in the acquisition more than people will understand. You know, when this deal is all said and done and the games come out, I think they will produce more VR games. Would produce more first-party single player or multiplayer games, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I feel. I mean, we definitely know. We feel that VR is going to be a big focus for PlayStation 5 as well. They want to continue that. I'll just double up on what you're saying and roll out. Yeah, I just think it's a power move. I think it's a strong move. I think that Sony is ready for war. Obviously they see that Microsoft's making all these studio acquisitions. I think it's a smart move. They've already had the relationship. It's cool. Spider-Man, we gotta say, it has to have some effect on that. I do feel Sony's petty will be out with Sunset Overdrive 2. I definitely think that's coming, and Xbox fans better get ready because I think it's coming. Shout out to Cycle with the $2 super chat. Sunset came at a time when everyone hated Microsoft. Interesting. I mean, it's just sad that I just felt that, Insomniac wanted to do the sequel and it couldn't happen. Me, myself, personally, I think it's kind of like the Dan Matrick era during that whole signing. And I think if, Phil was a little bit more involved, maybe that didn't happen. And now that he's in more of a position of power at the table, things are different.
I don't think they would have purchased them, to be honest with you. I don't think they fit inside Microsoft wheelhouse.
They might not.
I believe that you're onto something with this. To be honest with you, I do believe Microsoft was hated at the time, and I do believe it was affecting sales of otherwise great game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and my last point on it is just like I think next gen is the content war solve. I think it's all about how much content, and you're seeing all these studios, everyone's being acquired, everyone's gearing up because that's going to be the thing. I think the system's going to be comparable. I think streaming is going to be big for Microsoft, how they handle it with xCloud. I think also you got PlayStation with PSVR. I think they're going to continue pioneering that space. Each has their own little approach, but content is king, so you've got to lock these in. And like Dizzy said in the chat, I do believe Stadia, again, as much as people don't like them and not into a streaming future, they're aggressive and have the capital enough to acquire studios. So at this point, Sony, you got to secure the home team. You got to bring them in, let nobody woo your boo from you. And you got to keep that close. You know what I'm saying? You can't let nobody take that. So that's
you have been coming up with a lot of slogans, don't let them woo your boo.
Don't let them woo you. It's cuffing season. It's cuffing season. You gotta.
It's gonna start to get cold real soon.
It's getting cold real. My man, Dad don't know what time it is. Dad don't know what time it is.
Keep it warm, baby.
Keep it warm. It's cuffing season, man. Arm up. You already know. Salute the show. We gonna get the poll. Get out of here. New ILP poll to finish up with the recent announcement of Microsoft initially stating they have no plans for releasing first-party titles on other consoles, while later saying they would like to see Game Pass titles on all platforms. Which statement do you believe to be closer to the truth? The choices are A, Xbox first-party exclusives will remain on Xbox. Stop fear-mongering. B, Xbox first-party games will eventually be on all platforms. Open your eyes. Or C, I don't care. I'm PC Master Race and I'll have all their games anywhere. Shout out to Petey. That's Petey on the scene. That's Petey on the scene. Lord Danotage, an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. Awesome. I know we kept you long, man, but thank you so much for sticking through all of it, man. Absolute pleasure. Where can people find you? What do you got going on?
You can find me everywhere at Danotage. I've got that brand recognition is everywhere, man. Woo! That synergy, dog.
Woo!
So yeah, YouTube, Twitch. I have a thing on Mixer. I've been on Mixer. I've done D&D on Mixer and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I don't see myself going over there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all of it. It's all Danotage. If you put Danotage in the thing, and if it's not me, well, contact me. I gotta talk to somebody.
Somebody's fraud.
That's what
somebody's got
California just came out of. Let me know where he at.
That was the Oakland pull-up. That was the Oakland came out. You heard it?
I'll find him. Yeah. No, I'm everywhere, Danotage, and I stream every evening or sometimes very early in the morning when Snally Dude's waking up. But yeah, dude, I'm there.
Absolute pleasure to hear your history, to hear your journey. The strategy guys had us. We could have talked to you about that all day.
I could talk about that all day.
Oh, man. Tremendous, man. An absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining around, man. So much fun. Thank you. Lord Snaldo, man. Absolute pleasure for introducing me to this gentleman right here, man. It was great to have him on the realm. Where can people find you? What's going on with the stream team lead, man?
So as per usual, Snaldo on everything. If you need me, I'm always on Discord. As per for the past couple of weeks, we've been discussing it. We would always want more streamers to join us on our ILP channel. So if you guys are looking to do that, please just hit me up on Discord. I am pretty much always on it, and I live on the thing. So hit me up there. That or Twitter or whatever you want. You know, I stream every night, 7 to 10 or 11, whatever I'm in the mood for, and on my channel. And you know,
ILP first look, Empire Sin. That's you.
Oh yeah, yes.
I'm trying to throw it on you.
I try to do as many as possible, so I don't have to have the other members of the ILP team being like, brother, why did Pete give me this code, because this is horrible. So I usually take all the ones.
I will say this: shout out the old school style. He's very interested in that game. So if you do want to pull that one, he would be interested. That's my man.
Yes, I try to hit up as many people, as many developers as I possibly can during the week, and sometimes we get some, sometimes we don't. So
we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no
problem.
Tremendous
work. Always at the shows with us. Always helping us out. One of the best cameraman in the business. My man.
Yes. Play NYC was a blast. I can't wait. Wait for our next event. What is it? PAX is our next event.
PAX. So Lord Down, are you going to PAX? Like East
I won't be at PAX, but I'm in San Diego, so I'll be at TwitchCon if anybody's showing up. Come on by.
No doubt.
One of these days I got to make it to New York Comic Con and come see
bro.
You guys.
Pull up.
Definitely.
Lords of New York, man. You got to pull up, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
King will be there for sure. You already know.
We'll definitely do a big dinner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lord Sovereign, Alex going, but Lord Sovereign still remains. What is going on? The Control Master, man. What you got going on?
That's it, man. Just Control. I'm gonna hopefully try to finish that. I'll hopefully try to finish that this week. Leading up to again.
You should finish in some games, sir.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I can't finish my game with you, but
oh my God, he's shaving. He's co-op shaving you.
He's definitely co-op shaving. That's all right. You have Destiny. That's all right.
I know. I just re-downloaded that game because my hard drive crashed, and I just re-downloaded that game, and I had a little tear in my eye. I will never finish this game because of
you. No, that's not true. We'll finish it eventually. But it's funny because we stopped playing at the part where they were practicing the escape from jail.
Yeah.
So they were climbing up. They're climbing up this like tunnel butt to butt, like you gotta go in unison, like go.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I know exactly the part you're talking about. That's funny.
We will finish that game eventually, but Control this week, leading up to the end of the week, man. We have Astral Chain, we have Blair Witch coming. Like there's some stuff, so I gotta finish Control.
Facts. You already know. Lord King back off the hospital bed. Returning.
Hospital bed. Hold on a second. Let's give a shout out to my man Brat.
Lord.
Only one real Phil, and that's Phil Dominus Maximus.
He did not say that. That's not with the super chat. You are not onto something. You are not on.
I'm on to something. I'm on to it.
You see how he pounced on this one? He's like, I gotta get it.
Yeah, he was no Phil slander, and he reworded that his own way.
I cannot have you spreading propaganda, sir.
Oh my God! People gonna think IOP is sponsored by Phil Spencer at this point. Continue.
He is in my avatar with me. All right, yo. Listen, Danotage, I'm telling you right now, these guys were talking about you before we even got you onto the show. And I'm like, all right, cool. You sitting saying, hey, listen to somebody talk about somebody. I'm like, all right, he's really that cool? Hell yeah, he's really that cool. He's all of that and a bag of chips, 100%. You were always in my ecosystem, and I just really didn't even know it. I mean, you were formulating a lot of my gaming opinions and stuff like that. I really didn't even know it, and I appreciate you, sir, for being very integral in my gaming development, to be honest with you. Seriously. Maybe when I did look at a primer game strategy guide, it was your strategy.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're interconnected that way because we all the lords, we would go to get. That was part of the culture. You bought the game, you reserved it. Hey, for extra little reserve, you get that strategy guide. There's no doubt in our mind, King, that we have read Lord Danotage's strategy. We've had it. We've had ownership.
I know for a fact that Titanfall.
Facts. Yeah, definitely.
And I know for a fact you affected me through that. So I do appreciate you, sir. And it was a damn pleasure having you on the show today. Trust me when I'm telling you, everything from the mustache to the beard, everything is fantastic. I appreciate everything about you. Thank you so much for showing up today.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, because
no, it means a ton, man. Yeah, I'll get you guys out some copies of some good guides one of these days.
Oh, dude, that would be love, man. That's feels, man. Yeah, King said it better, man. You already know. LordCognito on Twitter. Please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. The chat was absolutely phenomenal today. Thank you guys so much. It was lit. Just want to make a quick announcement real quick. We have a new member, latest addition to the lordsofgaming.net writing team. My man, the macho man himself, Lord Hector Ramirez. Salute that brother. He's got some articles up right now on lordsofgaming.net. You know, we want to welcome him to the team. He's done some work for Comic Book Resource, CBR.com. He's done some freelancing there. And yeah, man, he's really tremendous. We're glad to have him on board. And of course, all the other writers, Lord Mods with the text, Josh Redding, Daniel May, Gondor's Condor, Lord Petey himself with his Division articles, always spectacular when we get those. And of course, the OGs, Addicts with the reviews, Kings with King of Statues, Solve putting up IOP when it needs to, even though he missed last week, but I'm not going to throw him on the bus. He missed last week. So we got to throw him on the bus.
Y'all better tune in this week. I have a statue.
I'm not throwing
the bus, but he missed last week. Make sure y'all own him.
Y'all better tune in this week. I have a custom statue that's coming in, and it'll be here on Tuesday.
Bro,
and
that Patriot in the back, though, fire.
Hold on.
Oh, Brap's coming at me, man. Yeah. It's Cognito wearing glasses, you wearing a shooting range. These are gunners, baby. Come on, this is gamers. This is MLG. I'm professional with it, man. I'm trying to get that gunner sponsorship. Y'all gunners, y'all see me, baby. I'm working.
Gunners, call me up.
Call me up. Look at we all out here selling out. Look at King.
You see me with the diamond JBLs.
Dano, we working our sponsorship angles, man. Help us out, baby.
I won't ask for much, man. Just come on, call me up.
Just call me up, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Let somebody woo your boo.
Woo your boo. And on that, yes, you already know KOS is up right now. Check out The Last Word with Ebontis. We had a good one, man. Everybody, please enjoy your Sunday. We are out of here, yo. Peace.